NVDA hovering around the volume-weighted average price. The market's still holding up around its highs. Bitcoin not too far off either, guys. We are down only about 0.9% on the session, a little bit more as it's starting to pull back in. Nonetheless, still plenty of time, some potential closing trades as well, and I hope everyone's put on a pretty good session. Volatility spikes starting to cool down. You can see we're not as reactive as we have been in the past couple of weeks, and that's totally fine. And that's something that I personally want to see within the market, a nice steady upcline, some strong sessions, and considering this is still looming and a weight over the market's shoulders, we're not too far off of the all-time highs. I think after the end of the earnings season, we can be sitting in a pretty good position, especially in names like NVDA climbing up to 190 almost. Still stuck in that consolidation zone, but I think the report, it's either going to stay there or it's going to take a massive move in either direction, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Bro. Joe?
Right, man, yeah, that's it.
You back?
So here it goes.
All right, and we're going to that way, and we got one in the bag, too, so that's not a bad look. Oh, are we going to Neil at the board or to Sean over here? We're going to Sean. All right, we're going to Katinaman first, baby.
Hey guys, thanks Sharif and Joe. What a good midday show that we just put on. So thanks guys for all that and some good news briefs there. Thanks Sia and Adair. But welcome back. The market right now pretty exciting, I guess. Nice upside play here for, you can see the kind of trades though. I'm still in that NVIDIA trade and the Netflix trades that we both put on. We got a new silver position on. But here's the chart of the NASDAQ, just really upside, trying to tick out near the highs. Who's over there? Andre's over there. Okay, so just, there's Neil in the background. Yeah, we're getting ready to talk about a lesson, so get ready for all that. But there comes the NASDAQ, nice little move to the high side right here, and there it is. Volume came in right off the open, and we never really looked back, right? I mean, a couple good dip buy opportunities coming in into your 50-period moving average with that one there. The important thing to note today on this silver trade right here is I did have a stop order, but we canceled it. So we'll talk about that when we do get back, of course, right there. Look, on days like today, what we're looking to do is trade on catalyst and trade on news. Something that happened this morning and what happens all the time in the markets is news creates opportunity. But is it the right opportunity for you? Is it something that you need to jump on right away? Let's go over and talk to Neil about what kind of a catalyst news can bring first thing in the morning.
That's the thing. Everyone's looking for the big opportunities, the big trades, the very specific price action, which is going to cause that big move and how you can take advantage of it. Well, first of all, it's like, where are you looking? You know, recently, a lot of it's been in oil. And when you see something like a big news hit, the easy way to tell whether it matters or not is what is going on in the overall market or the underlying. So you can see things are moseying along like normal at the open, and then boom, headline drops. This is an obvious case here in USO where you have had a headline that structurally changes things. And the first thing that's going to happen, spreads are going to open up. Nobody wants to make a market. The market makers pull. The algos are nowhere to be found. And it's absolute rinse fest. You go from a range of basically like 50, 60 pennies to, in one 3-minute candle, you're talking about $4 to the downside. Now, it wasn't the only time news hit. There was another chance where in the afternoon or a little bit later on, you had another spike to the downside. Now, the interesting thing that you've got to keep in mind here, when you have spikes like this, they create liquidity vacuums. When the liquidity vacuum comes in, a key telling point will be, where do the buyers or sellers want to step in? Because this is an example here where you can see where buyers come in just around 129 quarters. And what happened the second time? Same price area. What you understand here is when market makers pull back and do not want to make a market and do not want to make a bid, a lot of times you will get a reveal of where the key support will be. In this particular case, you end up with the same support level that you had before. And there's an opportunity to trade off those, which we'll talk about in just a little bit here before we go back to Sean.
Look, the first reaction that you get always isn't the real reaction, right? You're looking to see what are the follow-up plays. Sometimes you do get that little liquidity vacuum, and I think it's very important to understand the time of day when you're looking at this. Sometimes you just get that little whoosh up or down. That's not the real move. You're stuck in a liquidity vacuum. Liquidity can disappear right when us traders need it the most, and the algorithms know exactly that. They're waiting for us to hit the keys. They're waiting for us to make that big position, and then whoosh, they'll cancel it on you. Do not let your first response be one of those emotional ones. Make sure you're focused, understand your levels. It's very, very interesting and important to trade on catalysts, but you have to remain emotionally stable and watch out for those liquidity vacuums. Stay focused on your points of entry and exits.
And if you are focused on those, then you can find an opportunity in the other direction. As we showed before, when we made that low earlier, it ended up bottoming in the same place, oil. So I'm going to zoom in here, and you can see heavy reaction to the downside. You get a bottoming tail candle at the same support level, and then all of a sudden things reverse. Now, if you chase that move short, you're going to be in trouble. But the other side of it is look at second order events. If you know there's a bottom coming in here and you're looking for it, then find something which went parabolic in reaction to that news. In this case, silver went parabolic. Now, in my mind, as it's coming into the top, I'm like, okay, look for the reverse, but don't take a shot until we're bouncing off that low. So when that bottoming tail comes in, first shot for the reversion. Now, eventually it runs a stop, but I know what's going on over here. You're confirming a higher low. So it's still holding that bottom. So I'm still going to like it as a reversion trade. So even though it comes out, I jump right back into the trade because my confirmation's telling me you've bottomed out on a double bottom, the same place liquidity came in before. When I have a vacuum in the other direction and something that's reacting to the same news, I'm expecting the same kind of vacuum to come in. The only place that you could have caught the top was waiting until you had confirmation the bottom was going to hold. Those liquidity vacuums are important information. Sometimes they can be double tops or double bottoms from earlier. Other times it can be a reversal candle. But you're sitting there looking at an absolute parabolic mover. How do you know it's going to turn? You don't know. But you do have the edge that what caused the move is slowing down, and you can use that confirmation of the market makers coming back in to grab that potential reversion trade up top with a little more confidence. And that's a great setup, not chasing the news, but reacting to it after the fact with the information given.
Look, news and catalysts can create amazing trades and amazing opportunities, but only to the traders who let the dust settle first. Okay, someone in the chat asked me about this SLV position. Yeah, so I think it was Trader 6, I believe. Yeah, look, it was like a 1 or 2 at the top. Both of these are like 1 or 2 units. So the most units will have about 5. So we'll say it's about half position or so. Yeah, okay, I have to switch this. You know, it's about a 1 or, yeah, but I'm holding it now, Andre, so I got to get into this thing here. But anyways, what I was getting at here was we do have SLV right into here, trying to break a little lower through $68. I'm going to try to, you know, you're going to have to, I'm going to try to use this thing here. Instead of
we'll come on over. The magnet is so key.
Okay, but the problem is this vest is too thick.
I'm not a fan of I used to use the clips too, but it's amazing what you can do with magnets. Science. Oh, that's right. I can't say that.
Magnets. Breaking Bad. I love that magnet.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is everything Jesse says, you know what comes after that, and we don't want to get demonetized up in here. So you know you've watched Breaking Bad. You know what gets said next, and I'm just not going to repeat it in this moment. But oh my goodness, I know you're talking silver. We'll get back to that in a quick little second. It's Oracle. It's 11%. We'll go on. It is booming. This is something we haven't been able to say since October of last year, and I'm probably going to jinx it right now. Oracle is going to close above the 50-period moving average on the daily.
Wait, what?
Bounces in on Oracle. 11%, dragging everything with it. Thank you very much, says the IG Vizzle. Vizzle, VZ, I don't know. Which one would it be? Was it IG VZ or IG Vizzle? IG VZ sounds better than, I will go with IG VZ, getting a nice bounce. Not as good as Oracle, but up 5%. So maybe, just maybe, the bottom is in on these software names. I mean, one day bounce doesn't exactly break a trend. But at least in Oracle's case, you can make.
So you heard it here first. Neil calling the bottom in software names. Okay.
In Oracle closes above the 50-period moving average, and it can hold it. Well, you got to hold it tomorrow. Hold over 150 tomorrow for the confirmation. I think that can be a nice little attempt for a breakout. It's triple bottomed on the daily. The IGV, that's really only a first order move. But I like the 50-period. You can find worse plays. I'm only in battle because USO moved, so. Only really trade battle when USO does something crazy, and USO did this. Oh, we were just showing you guys. You already know what USO did. Did that flush, and then battled back higher, and decided to hold the lows. So just kind of stuck with that one short. Looking for it to, as usual, fill in the entirety of the gap. It was gapped up 11%. I don't know why I didn't like VWAP at the open on this, but that's neither here nor there.
I like that. Battled back. I like that.
I'm glad to rewatch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that was another thing. It wasn't even that many seasons, I don't think, Breaking Bad. I don't think it was as many episodes as we think. I think maybe
6 or 7?
6, yeah. 5. I'm going to go with 5 or 6 instead of 6 or 7.
Why do I have it's like 6, 7 is in the brain.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that.
Not even realizing that.
You got to get rid of that. I said it today as well. It was like something like this would be a $6 or $7 winner or something like that. But now it has nothing to do with that. Okay, so yeah, this is the Netflix trade. This was the #1 trade idea of the day for me anyways. And I know we're all sick and tired of looking at the sticky note, but I just want to keep directing people back to it because we put this out early. It was Netflix 102.50 and we were able to grab that right away. And we could always do lessons of the day on these kind of trades as well. But here's 102.50, came in, gave us some nice, about $1 right away early. Like you want to talk about that lesson that Neil did in like some of the liquidity vacuums and whatnot that do occur in the space. And we have one right here on Netflix. So it kind of was very choppy early, just back and forth. We were able to withstand this dip down. I mean, we were able to cash out of some of our shares. We did have a keystroke error there. We talked about that. Then it came back in and we were able to buy the bottoms of the range. And this is what we put down, 102.50. So we get a 102.25 or so. Oh, actually, what are we long right now? 102.15, giving it to 101. But there goes the breakup. You're starting to pass back a little bit here. So we'll get out a little bit more as we start to dip down in. But Netflix right now, pretty good trade. Going to be my P&L #1. And then we'll talk about silver, and then we also have NVDA as well that we nailed that long. Was able to get out, and when we got back, sort of finished off those ribs, which were actually pretty good today. I got to give 2 thumbs up for the ribs. I mean, you're not.
I'm going to give 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, we're not going to compare it to rib joints,
of course not,
or anything like that. But as far as like the ribs fell off the bone nicely, I thought they were. It was like an okay barbecue sauce, had a little bit of a tang to it, considering. You know, you don't want to make it
I enjoyed the ribs more than I enjoyed the chicken on Friday.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. I
had to go get extras because, let's be real, you can't put 2 ribs on a plate and be like, this is enough for a grown ass man. Like,
I mean, you got to put more than 2 little racks. You're not talking about 2 racks. You're talking about there was just 2 little ribs, like riblets.
Like you know what's the Chris Rock gag? No, I want 1 rib. Like that's what I felt.
I think you need. What do you think? I mean, the minimum. Someone in the chat there said 6. I think if you had 4, I mean, look, just for lunch. I mean, I think what is a half rack? 6? Yeah. Like I wonder what that is.
But this was also bigger.
Anyways, Joe is eating it now, and we'll get in. No, don't. Do not go to Joe. He's eating ribs, Andre. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get a review from him soon. But I think we got to go to Adara.
Well, before we have a review
Neil.
on ribs,
let's go to Neil.
How about an update from Orogenics?
Yeah.
Ticker OGEN on the NYSE American. The company has now activated its Phase 2A clinical trial in Australia, with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next.
Okay.
They're developing ONP-002. An intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there is currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Orogenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution. With clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. Shout out to Origenics. You can find OGEN over on the NYC American, a place where BM&R is no longer, by the way, because they moved to New York. And how are they doing? I just sort of randomly remember that. And back into the red. How? Such a strong day for Bitcoin, but what is ETH doing? ETH kind of a meh. Yeah, but ETH is actually stronger. So a little bit stronger on ETH is what it is. So the only thing I'm in is the battle in Battalion. It just made another leg down, but like these charts are these are kind of similar here. Maybe a little bit.
Battalion, yeah.
Yeah, so like if USO doesn't do anything except continue to slide, then this should fill in the gap. If there's a big spike up in USO, like I keep on moving the trail. So it goes from shorting it to here to moving the trail. It's right now the trail's in here. Whoops, I should show you there. I haven't pushed it down yet. If it holds under 3350, I'd probably move the trail to the prior low. But gotta keep your eye on USO, see what does happen overall. Let's be real. I feel like we're always one headline away.
It was up 7% at one point.
Yeah, we're 3.5 now. Whether you're looking at this or actual, hey, my thing should be working now. Whoops. Usually I have this alphabetically and it'd be easier to just go over. Yeah, all the futures are working. This chart wasn't working for me in the morning. But yeah, it doesn't matter what you're looking at. The trend is basically the same. You have your liquidity vacuum moves, but we're filling in the gap here. Good news for the overall market. And I remember, so Joe, well, we'll call it Joe's call, but I think there was a lot of agreement in the chat about this anyway. So I feel like the chat agreed with this on Friday. Was after closing with consecutive days above the 50 period, that we get back to all-time highs on the SPY.
Mm-hmm. Of course we do.
And I think we said within, did we say 2 or 3 weeks, Joe? Was it 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
By the middle of the summer.
Okay. Middle of the summer.
Okay, so what happened was Joe said the middle of the summer. I was like, that's ridiculous. We can't make a call where
it'll easily be back there by the middle.
No, but I think we settled on the end of the month, which is only a couple of weeks or 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we ended up settling on the end of the month, which still looks pretty good. But we're going to have to get through earnings season.
How far away are we from the highs right now? I mean, you're up in. You could be up
$17. So what's that? 2.5%?
Yeah, you're going to be up 1% today. You might be back. You might be back to all-time highs Friday.
It's earnings that you have to get through. The only thing holding us back is Goldman Sachs reported.
Slide City.
And this time we didn't get back to highs. So Goldman reported it did bounce. We've seen it before. Like the banks, big earnings, they beat top bottom. Goldman makes a bunch of money. We all know this.
Why is that posted?
And they bounced in clean trend to the upside, but it didn't fill in the gap. So a little bit short of the usual, I think we're accustomed to seeing. But we get a few more banks the rest of the week. We get Netflix on Thursday, I want to say. So it's banks and Netflix this week when it comes to earnings. And then we start getting back into the swing of things. So we won't have that much. Like NVIDIA is not going to report before we get to the end of the month. But I think the SPY can still get back to the highs.
Oh yeah, the SPY. I thought you were going to go either this week or next week, and then I heard middle of the summer there.
Well, the thing was the middle of the summer. Like we could have pushed it, but because you said middle of the summer, I don't want to push it too far. But 2 weeks is reasonable.
Too, you guys made. Now we have sort of a little bit more calmness. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know if we do or not, but Strait of Hormuz talk seems to be a little bit better than maybe it was on Friday today. I don't know. Oil only being up 4% seems to be okay to me. Here it goes, man. Let's props it up there. A lot of people asking me questions about the silver trade, but yeah, so we're getting lighter. I have half position on right now. So we'll see if it comes in. The 200 period is always a good take. We did get that one stoppy right there as we stopped out on a break of 40. Then I was like, you know what? Let's give it a little higher than that. So this break was 50 break. Those are those areas. So this one right here to get 18 cents. We're now in the money 40, but we have half left. So that's about right. We're going to play with house money, see if we can get it back into 67.80, which is basically where we're at now. If we are able to grab that trade on the short side, again, we'll we'll do it, but it has to be up here. So that's one more time. We'll see if we get that trade. NVIDIA, we did take another piece out because it looks like it may potentially try to break down. And I won't mind reloading this one, but 187.70 is where VWAP is right now. And Slide City right now for Netflix, as that's trying to push just a little bit lower here as well. We get a piece out as we break through. And now we have less than 10% left. Or actually, maybe about 15%. I'm not sure. We had too many fills in here. Let's call it 15% left on this trade. But we just broke through the 200 period moving average, and that generally for me is a cause for a bit of concern. So we'll offer a little bit here at 24. Maybe we do swipe up, and there we go. We get a piece out there on Netflix. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Is AMC? What's up to? Yeah, you can put it up there. I just saw it come through there.
Yeah.
Neil and I both, although went to separate theaters, we went to see that amazing Mario movie, which in my opinion was not that amazing. We did the saving grace for us was we did the D box, and then you did also
did 3D.
We did the 3D as well.
3.5 out of 10.
Do you know how much it cost? It's $28 to go to the D box, which is the moving seats and the glasses, the 3D. $28. Well, otherwise it's $23.
Was it for kids?
I don't know. I don't know.
Still, it's
Yeah, an adult is with 3D is $23.
I think I'll be real. If like the kids loved it, so we took my daughter and her best friend. They had never seen neither one of them had seen a 3D movie.
Oh, they hadn't.
And I have a feeling that if it wasn't for the 3D thing, I think even they weren't as impressed with the movie. Like usually kids they have like a buzz after a film. Like I remember like when you saw what's that Demon Hunter or whatever. Like kids are just all over it.
Yeah,
talking about
Minecraft.
No man, like the second we left the theater, they were on to like other stuff. Like they came.
Yeah, no, for me it wasn't that big of a deal, but
I was disappointed. But that sequel's 40,
That's
man.
me. So.
Why we like AMC
We're old.
today? I mean, just because of that. I don't know what's going on with this, but you have some decent starts with the box office. But you know what? It bounced pretty cleanly. It never broke 90 cents. It's breaking out above the buck. It seems like you're getting a bit of a relief rally here off the dollar level, right? Like you need to hold over $1. That's big psychological level there for sure. And the question was, is it a possible play to $2 or do you need new glasses? I think a lot of times, like the first thing you look for when you have something like this is, well, where was the last sell point? About $1.80. And then the 200 period moving average says 220. So your $2 target sits in between those. Like the last bag hold is 180, and then 220 is a 200 period, which is the real rejection zone. Like if you zoom it out far enough, the 200 period moving average has been a much bigger deal here. Like kind of doesn't really have sustained moves above it more than like one hold more than a couple of weeks over the 200 period. So I think that matters more than the 50 here. But yeah, I think there's room to run. It hasn't really had a bad day since it held that $1 level. And none of these days are ridiculous. Like it'll go up, it's had reversals. Like look at that, rejection of 140, rejection of 140, rejection of 140. This time it's breaking through, but all the time it's holding support. There's nothing crazy about the move. It's just sort of gliding higher. Shorts have to cover at some point, right? Like anyone that's been shorting this to death for the last however long, you got to make your money eventually. That's weird. We got another super chat in here from Calls. Sorry,
Calls of Duty? Oh no.
Call sign
Custard.
Okay.
What's up, Colonel Custard over there?
Yeah, Colonel Custard.
What is it?
Canada.
Colonel Mustard in the museum with. I was gonna say what did I said in the museum with the candlestick, and Rob over there in the library with the candlestick.
I love Clue.
Clue is a great game. You know, I think I actually have. That's one of the games I think I still have. Board game.
Yeah, I know we have lots of board games.
Like you have an old
we don't
Monopoly.
Have
you don't have Clue. No. Okay. Okay. It Takes Two. Can you all go over? Oh, didn't this halt?
Avis.
Avis was a halter there last week. What was the story behind Avis?
Squeeze.
Is it just a squeeze? Weren't you looking at the short float of that name?
Yeah, it was 40. Well, one site said 44, another site said 24. Either way, to say it's getting out of hand, it was already out of hand. I don't know what to tell you. This is not, like, there's nothing about this that's structural. At the beginning of this, there was at least some chatter that this was related. Oh, the rental car names were getting a bump because of the TSA strike, and people be driving. I don't, like, that didn't even make it, people will be renting to travel more. Like, okay, fair enough. Like, that might have explained a little bit, but now this is just full-born blown squeeze play. It's difficult to chase, but every single day, it just seems once it catches a bid, and it's had big-time pullbacks that make you think it's done. This one into 300 and continuing to go. I do believe it was Abercrombie, ANF. Trying to think of how far I have to go back to show that ANF squeeze. Let me go to a monthly chart.
Ukraine is weak.
At least that. Yeah, so remember, Abercrombie on a monthly did like something similar, where it just was going and then going and then going, and it wouldn't stop. And it went from $30 all the way to 200 before it unwound. But the thing about finding the top, on the monthly, it made the high. The third month after the high was the actual turn candle. So I don't know where the top is going to be on Avis. But this just started, if you're really thinking about it. Like, this started on March 24th, so we're not even a month into it yet. If it were to pull an Abercrombie, then this is just getting started. Or, heck, man, this could be over tomorrow. So, like, when it's a squeeze, you enjoy it while you can, and if you happen to be in, start, I don't know, maybe some people use Fibonacci, some people use trend lines. Whatever it is that you use to hold and wait for a pullback to get out, ride the wave. It's a squeeze. This is what people, we just had the super chat about AMC. Like, this is what people are hoping AMC would do. And meanwhile, it happens in other places and doesn't get nearly enough the cred. Like, it's always like, oh, no, look at the old meme stocks. Now, look for the new meme stock. And right now, it's car.
I think that's good advice. Yeah, and that's, we just got back-to-back meme stocks. We got AMC, and then we got a car. So I think that the meme stock craze is alive and well right now. And I was, no offense to anybody from Ukraine. I mean, that was just, if you guys remember the Seinfeld, someone put in their Risk. I mean, I would, back in the day, like, those were the games, man. Those were the board games. And I don't know what popular board games are happening right now, but Risk
was, like, with Risk, I was all about, you had to go get Australia. Like, if you branch out from there, because then you had your little base on the island.
Yeah, I think everyone has their own strategy.
Everyone, like, a lot of people would do that.
For that one. I was going after the Middle East. Okay, RMS. Oh, that was one today. Yeah, so RMSG was the name that busted through the dollar level there. And they go, what the? Okay. So this was on our watch list this morning. What in the hell is even that? Yeah, you're right about that one there, Andre. There it goes, man, up just to 300%. I mean, obviously all of us dropped all of our money in this on Friday. But there goes RMSG, just joking. Nice move there to the high side for RMSG as it's up 300%. They got, Neil brought this to our attention earlier as well and mentioned that they had some sort of a letter there of compliance that they received on Friday or last week about having to get above $1, because if you spend a certain amount of time, 60 days under $1, the NASDAQ will say, hey, what's going on? You guys need to get above, or you're going down to our friends Jeff Mendel and company over there on the OTC market. And then all of a sudden today, I don't know what got under it today, RSMG. I mean, I can check it out here on Benzinga Pro, and just let's go in here and type in RSMG, because I don't think we really had too much of a highlight today. Has a performance augment sponsorship intelligent. When was this? This was this morning? Okay, announced it would be adding some site platform to their current client offering. Okay, so there was some sort of a consumer insights from social media. Okay, so maybe some AI-based stuff here. I'm not going to go in and read this because obviously I have no idea about it, so we'll get rid of that. But RSMG, the one thing that we can tell you is it is like 3 million share float, if not underneath that. RSMG.
Only done 300.
My enter button is not working.
What's RMSG?
Oh, is that why? RMSG, that would make sense. There it is right here. Real Messenger Corp. So there it is right there. 16% short float. That'll be way higher later. 3.4 million, share float on that. So that's something to look at there as well. Market cap just 4 million. And yeah, really ripping. But thanks for bringing that to our attention today, RSMG. And often the play is on that break of $1. So that's what happens right there. And, right there off open. It actually came back in and wow, look at that.
$1 exactly.
Look at that, man. Retested $1 again and then blasted up. So not only is this thing at $2, there's your initial break and the halt. There's the second break and a halt. There's another halt. But it continues to click higher there, as I'm assuming traders are getting shut out of this.
I don't know if this is free locates, but if the locates are cheap on this is the one that destroys people when it's this much up, down. Like you think every time you think there's a curl.
Yeah, the business is probably not up on this today.
Yeah, like you go, like, because this is why I like trend reversals on things that are not like this, because it's less likely that you'll have some normal stock's not the right word, but you know what I mean when I say normal stock, like non-penny stock, small cap gap, or like it'll break a trend and you have a better chance it'll revert. These ones don't necessarily have to. That said, if you happen to be a small cap trader, forget about when it broke $1. Like you had 5 minutes. Actually, this is a 3 minute. This is a 3 minutes. So you have somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 9 minutes, depending on when you get in, that this bounced off 101, like $1.01 in here. You don't see that very often. Usually the $1 bounce when it comes back, you're like, give it to 95 cents, give it to like something. Like you're having to hold it to something against you. This one, you could have bought 101 and held it never against you, and then it ends up a double. And it bounced VWAP the whole way. So worth watching. It isn't free locates, by the way. I did check.
Okay.
It's not like you can't. USO just tried to bounce, but then put in this rejection of 130. So when I saw that, immediately I was like, oh, is battle going up? Not really. It was sideways, but I took a little bit out because USO was going. But realistically, it's still just another like topping tail, and the trend is going to end up holding. If we retake the 130 and start closing above, probably a reason to get out some and look for potential curl. We'll see. Dev just said something interesting.
Okay.
Saying SNDK is a classic rug pull candidate. The thing about that is, I would agree, but plenty of people were saying that at $700. Plenty of people were saying that at 500 as well. And at some point, I think
it's going to be about timing.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's almost impossible to time.
Yeah.
Now, they report in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I think it's the 30th, whatever that works out to. So maybe the end of 2 weeks from now, like Thursday or Friday. Micron's last earnings was a blowout, and they fell. I think that's what people are looking for this time for the highs. Is that, well, that fantastic report didn't do Micron any justice, and SanDisk just continues to fly. So maybe that's a signal that this next report for SanDisk, it's not going to matter. But there's still 2 weeks before that, and Micron literally waited until that report to turn around. So I don't know if this one, it might have a couple weeks of juice left in it, but I do think that earnings report is going to be a big deal for them. If it's still going parabolic, if this thing is like $1,100 going into the next earnings report, and then the next day is down 5%, I think, yeah, people are going to be hammering the crap out of it that morning to the downside. But for now, this thing's just a rocket ship.
I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention, Adara does a great job with the watch list, and I just wanted to say, like, right into here today, for everybody that's thinking about this RSMG, I mean, this is today's watch list, right? And, you know, you go down, obviously we had oil and energy stocks. I mean, that's going to be the #1 talk today. We had Palantir. We can look at that again. Goldman Sachs, of course, with their report as you go on. But right at the end, Adara tries to put in maybe a couple of odd names, or at least one that's running in the pre-market. And today we had Real Messenger Corp, and you can see right here up only 100% when it was posted, and right there. And here's the talk. This is why we talked about how many shares there were approximately, and so on and so forth. So if you are, I should say, looking for maybe some sort of a post that you're trying to follow early on in the morning, definitely check it out. Go get our watch list at TraderTV.live, and be part of the team, and get onto that, because we did have RSMG for everybody real early, so. Go find that, and hopefully you guys are able to get some success off of the watch list. It's definitely something that there's a lot of time and effort put into. So it's completely for free. And you guys can definitely have a look there. All right, so the last out we got was $68 here. We told you that we were getting a little lighter there on the SLV trade. So, we are light on it. So we're just going to wait to see where it goes from here. I do have a bid back at 68 flat. It's actually at 68.01. Hopefully that does not fill. Hopefully that does fill, and we don't have to worry about it. But that's going to be one bid that I'm looking for. And we're still going to stop out if it does break above 50. Those of you looking for a trade idea on SLV, I don't mind going short again if it does come up here. But it's a pretty clean bounce off that 200 period, which is why we were sitting there and making sure to take some out on the way back into that. So we're able to do that and get out. And so now it's kind of like, okay, even though it's moving upside, I have, I'd say about 25% on, so about a quarter of a unit. And I know when we were down here, we talked about having half on, so we get out of a quarter, and now it's starting to go. I actually don't like the fact that I'll put another bid right here for 5% at 14s. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't, but that's what I'm gonna wait for, see if we do get that fill back in at 14. We're breaking above the 50-period moving average, and that's something that's not, you know, for me, not something that I'm too cool with. So we'll see if we do get a break area here on that, and we'll work off of it for SLV. And then we do have our good friend over here, Netflix, as well. That's going to be a trade that I'm working off of right now, just trying to get a little lighter in it. Netflix, as we did have a move up into the 50, looking to get that piece out as well. I just don't know what tomorrow, I mean, we don't need to worry too much about what tomorrow is going to bring. It's just, we still have an hour and a half. I mean, we got the news here. We got Adara behind us. So if anything spikes as far as USO or any kind of news story, then we're here. But I feel like right now, trading patterns, trading technicals is what's going to work for me this afternoon. I just got to find something that's setting up, and we're going to go to Adara for a story, and then we'll look for some potential trades. And keep those super chats coming, right? You guys have anything you want to ask Neil or I, let's go. So back over to Adara.
No news here, Sean, but I do want to recap, I think, one of the craziest news catalysts that I've seen over on this desk. It happened today, about 2 hours ago, around 12:30 p.m., and it concerned mostly DoorDash, though McDonald's benefited as well. As you can see, DASH spiking here into new highs of day. MCD also did get a much smaller move to the upside, but basically what happened is we had a very unusual DoorDash order to the White House. And yes, this is what the stock moved on. Good, this individual on the left, DoorDash grandma Sharon Simmons, delivering some McDonald's to U.S. President Trump at the White House. This is the first ever delivery to the White House, apparently from DoorDash. And also, he awarded Ms. Simmons here with a $100 tip. Now, this is because apparently this entire initiative was pre-organized with DoorDash and the White House to promote the no tax on tips initiative. Apparently this is the 1-year anniversary of the no tax on tips being passed, so that's why this particular initiative happened today. Now, it's interesting too, I want to talk a little bit more about DoorDash grandma, because as she's referred to here in this DoorDash article, Sharon Simmons from Arkansas, we'll go back to show you guys her here. I've talked to some people on X because I was doing some research, and apparently Sharon Simmons has previously promoted the no tax on tips initiative. She actually was at a meeting held by House Republicans going back to August of 2025, promoting this no tax on tips initiative as well. And again, in that initiative, or at that event, she said she was from Nevada. So a couple different states being represented here by Sharon Simmons. The plot thickens, I guess, when it comes to this DoorDash President Trump situation. But either way, here is MCD now pushing lower. DASH still in the near high of days. One of the wildest things I've seen here to move this market. How do you guys feel, audience and Neil and Sean?
I feel like if stocks are looking for excuses to go up, if a known event on a known I guess we'll call anniversary or whatever, is going to cause DoorDash to go up $3.5, $4, like make a 3% move intraday. That stock's like it's an excuse to go higher kind of thing, because like it shouldn't. If it came out of nowhere and nobody knew this was going to happen, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shoot, what's going on here? Yeah, maybe I could have said that reaction, but I think it's just that pent up buy that's coming in. I know we have a super chat, but we forgot. I meant to put a poll up in the morning. I said I was doing it, and then, I don't know, we got sidetracked, and that's my bad. So I'm going to start the voting on a custom poll we have right now, which is where do we finish from here on the spot? From here, everybody in the chat. Not, like I know we're up 0.5% right now. So are we up from here? Are we down from here in the SPY? Or are we flat? Are we looking at a sideways action move? So get your votes in. Type 1 if you think we're headed higher, 2 if we're headed lower, 3 if you think we're going nowhere. Get your votes in, and all you got to do is type a number in chat, which I'm pretty sure everybody can handle. And if you can't do it, it's probably because you're not in the chat. And if you're not in the chat, what are you doing? Get in the chat. Hit the subscribe button. It's a subs-only chat. Jump in there. A lot of 3s. Oh, down. 40% say down. It's high. We have like a
lower.
Yeah, 30% up, 30% flat, and almost 40. It's actually coming back now. Now that I chastise all the bears, now you're getting a few more bulls coming in there. That's right. Keep it going, bulls. We like it when the market goes higher instead of lower. Well, I have a small beef with that graphic. It's a small one. Just in general. Mario, you're going the other direction. Like
Right.
you're always going.
Mario can never go that way. That way.
I mean, I know that there is.
You can't jump backwards. Well, actually, you can't
No,
jump
you can. It's just like it's a small one.
Okay.
It's a small thing. Also, what would be really cooler is an update. If we had a power up one, like one punching the brick and then getting like a mushroom would be way cooler than that. But
Yeah. Well,
there's lots of things that we could potentially do.
these guys are busy.
We're always busy. It was no.
We did get a super chat about Netflix, and I was going to say you and I both there, Tycoon man.
That was the wrong one.
Oh, Assassino,
two.
that's
No,
Andre. Assassino is Andre. If we can get a camera on, maybe Andre can come over here and say hi if he wants to. If he's not too shy, he can do that. But he's okay. Good. Yeah, Andre, why don't you do that? Come say that. So there it is. We got a super chat for Andre. He'll be here in 2 seconds. This man started with us doing some graphics and now does. No, go walk around. Walk around so you can stand back there and just where Darren. Yeah, they can see
it's
you.
just easier to.
That's
want
where
your head to be cut off.
Yeah. And no one's switching right now, so it's going to stay on this. There he is. Say hi. There he is, Andre. Oh, here. Why don't we?
Well, you got the mic right there.
Yeah. Do you know how to use this thing? On in the bottom.
I have to unmute it.
Okay. See ya.
Okay.
And get out of here. But there's Andre. So yeah, hope he's having a great day. And there's Assassino. So thank you so much. I guess it's Portuguese for assassin, or is it Spanish? I don't know what that is. It's a name created by Sharif.
Yes, called him.
So
I don't remember.
he just looks too nice. You know, nice-looking, handsome gentlemen like that. Those are the assassins.
Well, it's like the Day of the Jackal, right? It's, it's that regular-looking dude.
Yeah, like that does. He does exist, and he is also an assassin. So, what's up, Adara?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think Sharif actually coined the nickname because sometimes, like, Andre will say these, like, random, like, really funny or kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that type things, because he's usually, like, very calm, all low-key and chill, and I think that's why the Assassino thing came up, so it's like a secret assassin or whatever. Anyways, it's a good nickname.
He's very, very chill, for sure. That is true. Others,
You got to be, right? If you're an assassin, like, you have to have, like, no emotion.
you can't.
Like, nothing like
can't
that.
be
Andre's
overly-
always like, guys,
can't
we have a read to do. You know, it's like, if you don't listen to him, gotta be careful. Who do we fear more, though, Andre or Ramin? You know.
Remain.
Ramin, okay. Yeah, I
Ramin-
don't, I'm not really, I'm more fear,
Although I'll tell you right now,
I fear Rob, actually.
Ramin is the
most.
sweetest.
People don't
person on-
know who Rob is, but
Always
he's the most-
incredibly generous, incredibly kind.
You just said you
always
fear
willing-
Ramin the most, and now you're sucking.
Always willing to. I don't know.
Oh, you want to see if there's any chocolate over there? Is that what
She
you're
has
doing?
the Snickers bar in the.
You could always tell, like, Neil's being nice to try to get something.
Ramin always has snacks, treats, something. There's something around the desk. I'll go by and it's like,
Snacky-ish.
oh, do you want some of this or that?
What's
She had like
going on?
goldfish crackers the other day.
Whoopsies.
We had the
Goldfish.
super
My
chat
kids
here
love
from Son of
goldfish.
Daniels, Keith Tycoon. We should
Yeah. I kind of answered this a little
you
bit.
did?
But
Okay.
Not really. I was just saying, like, you and I both. I mean, I think that is the problem. First of all, look on, maybe something's going on.
like that.
Fannie Mae. Did we ever get a story about Fannie Mae and Freddie McAdara last week? I know.
Not since the Bill Ackman pump.
Right. Okay. All right. So yeah. So you and I both, Cheese Tycoon. I mean, look, I had it written down today as the #1 trade idea. So we do like Netflix long. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Heading into earnings, I believe Thursday, Adara, Netflix. So I won't be here, but I feel like it's going to be a great earnings report. They got that $2.8 billion breakup fee, you know, from that Time Warner deal that fell through with. Paramount, PSKY, so they're putting that $2.8 billion to work somewhere, I'd assume, as well. And then increase of the prices as well. So they increased pricing per month membership, right? And so that's a thing. And then also, we do know how well the ad tiers are going. Oh, by the way, I do now know what you're talking about with ad tiers on Amazon, because the kids found Beast Games 2.
Yeah.
So we watched first Mr. Beast games there. Now they're on Beast Games 2, and we didn't have ads the first time around.
And now you do.
And now we
You see
do.
what I
So
mean?
it's like every 30 minutes you get
a
like
lot, man.
you get like a minute and a half or something. I'm fine with it, because, you know, it gives us a chance. Because you're watching Beast Games, it's actually okay, I feel like, because there's talk.
It's more when there's a movie.
Yeah, exactly. There's a
That's where-
pause in the action. Like, for Beast Games, I don't know if they're doing it properly, but it's almost like after competition, there's kind of like an ad, so that we can say, oh, what have you taken that deal or
Well,
whatever.
because Beast Games, it's like a TV show. But when you're watching a movie,
I know, it kind of cuts the wrong way. What's up, Adara?
It's also not all TV shows either that are, I think, good for these ads, Neil, because I was trying to watch Law & Order SVU on there, and it's like mid-sentence, it'll be an ad, and I'm like, I forgot what happened when they come back from the ad. Like, I'm joking, obviously I didn't, and it's like 5 ads, and they're each like a minute and a half long, and I'm like, this episode is not long enough to warrant these.
And you lose the
ads,
suspense. You lose.
Yeah, you can.
I think, like, unless it's like you said, like the Beast games where you can actually, there's something to talk about between, it's probably not worth it.
How could they? Okay, I don't watch like.
Like, I don't mind it in sports.
I haven't watched anything like Law and Order, like that kind of a show. But that come on, Amazon, you got to do. That's a little bit lazy to not be able to figure out. Like shows that were built for commercial breaks in the first place, you can't time your ads a little bit better. That's a kick in the junk.
Yeah, they must just have the algo, but that's an AI thing. That is so easy.
That's
to solve.
so easy to fix. But at the end of the day, if people don't care, like I've complained about it, but I still sit there and do nothing. Whatever, it is what it is. Just very quickly.
We're talking about people looking at Beyond Meat. Why? What's
Is
going
that
on?
moving? I saw a couple of people mention Beyond Meat. Is it?
Yeah, it's up 12.5% today. Is someone sending us those Beyond Protein shakes? I mean, we're supposed to be having. They're not in Canada, so I'm not trying to be like all. I told you we would. If you send it COD, we'll pay for the shipping. I just. Well, you got to get it over here.
What were we deciding? I think because I was making a big stink about not.
Yeah. Joe and I. Yeah, we'll just drink it. Even Adara, we're all gonna drink it. Because it's just a protein shake.
Right.
Like I don't understand what
I enjoyed the protein
all that would be
coffee from.
Yeah. There's Tim's,
I guess Starbucks
has it.
I liked it.
They all have it. Yeah. It's the same kind of stuff. Right there. We did get out there on SLV as well as this. We were able to get that dip buy into 14, so starting to break a little higher right now as we get less and less. We told you we had about 20% into 15% or so left of SLV, and we told you. I mean. It doesn't matter what we told you or anything like that, but I was like, we were getting out of that and we're trying to hold on, and I was voting long. I mean, on that poll there, as long as we're above VWAP, that's sort of my afternoon hack right now. If we're above VWAP and we're going, I'm not shorting the market anymore or longing it if we're underneath. I'm going to try to play trend, and if we get burned on trend, then I can just punch out on trend break or bottom break like this, right there on the future. So if I was long the futures, which I'm not, but there it is back to the, actually first day in a long time I didn't trade any TQQs.
By the way, US oil just broke low of the day as well. So it's not like it's...
Yeah. So the market's reacting properly today, where we have oil moving one way, and I guess this Strait of Hormuz being open and or closed and blocked and or not blocked seems to be moving in the right direction here for oil and for everybody at the pump, as I think it was like 7... I don't know what the national average is, but I thought it was like 6 or 7. Oh, there's that 6, 7 again. $5 or $6 or so
all day
at the pump per gallon. I don't know what it is where you guys are. You're about $1.80 a liter here right now. Oh,
David,
here we go.
Forgot you were going to send them and give you a drink live.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not
I didn't mean to ask to send it in. I just thought it'd be fun if we could have it.
We were just curious, and it's one of those, because we can't get it here, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, if there's like a 6-pack or something.
If I had known last time.
You guys can, on Google Maps, you can go to TraderTV.live, and then it'll give you the address, and you can send it. Over here, there should be only
It'd be kind of funny if it ended up being bad.
I mean, it might be horrible. I mean, I have no idea, but I always think it's fine. Oh, we didn't even look at Beyond Meat. We talked about it, then we asked for.
Because that's the high of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but you know what?
Up 13%. Was there news, Adara, today?
Fall for this.
Sorry, on Beyond Meat.
Oh, no, I couldn't find anything. I'll check now, but they are the type of company to do like random, what do you call them, news releases? Like they'll do the random press release that kind of means nothing, but it gets people excited. Oh, they did have a random press release that means nothing this morning, actually. Beyond Meat rolls out new plant-based breakfast sausage across major U.S. stores. So this is the headline that, I guess, I don't know if it's moving Beyond Meat as much as it's an excuse for people to trade Beyond Meat, but BYND rolling out a new plant-based breakfast sausage.
You know the thing about it is, I know there's like the 3 things you need to hit on. You need to hit on the fact, does it taste similar? Does it have the same, I suppose, well, obviously it's plant-based, right? And then does it have like the same, like close to the same nutrition level? But the underrated aspect of all of this is when you cook it, like if it's a burger and you grill it, or if you're doing like the sausage, like does it have the same like feel on the grill? Is it harder to cook or easier to cook? The only reason I use that example is like I had an ex that had celiac, and I remember, you know what it is? It is what it is. You get like a bunch of celiac products or whatnot, and what was really challenging was like something like pancakes were impossible. I I have no trouble making pancakes. But with the celiac pancakes, like for the love of what, it was almost impossible to get it exactly right. Like it was so
There's
easy.
no,
For
there's no
some reason,
comparing.
cooking it was just so much more difficult.
It's like there's gluten-free pasta, but it doesn't taste the same.
It's not, yeah, but like the pancakes, they tasted okay, but cooking it was just a problem. Like you got to make sure, because that's part of the experience when I'm eating meat.
We don't have.
If we're being honest,
I think Andre's not vegetarian, but I think he's pescatarian. So I wanted to ask, Andre, have you ever had Beyond Meat products? And do you like? Okay, can they hear you? No. Okay, that's okay. Keep going.
Now I think they can hear me.
Okay, that's good. Now they can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah. So what is your opinion then on Beyond Meat then?
It's like a hamburger. I don't have it all the time, but sometimes, yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Not that good, but it's good.
It's good. It's not that good. It's good. Okay, so there you go. So I just wanted to see, because I think you and I obviously used to eating, the ground beef, like a real patty there for burgers. But
we had those live too. Like
we used to have. I've ate Beyond Meat before.
we did it on the show.
Oh yeah, no, but I've cooked it. Like we've had.
Oh, you've actually grilled it at home.
Yeah, we've had it in our house.
I've never done that.
It it doesn't barbecue up the same or anything like that, and. It was probably during COVID and all that.
But the scientists that are working on it, that matters too. Like it's not just about the taste and nutrition, which you've got to, the nutritional aspect of it, you've got to make sure that it's at least as healthy. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it can't be worse for you. And that's what all the
I think Beyond Meat's problem is comparing it to meat. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's
but it has to be compared to meat. I don't think they can win without it.
Yeah, but when you compare it, I mean, that's a losing battle. I think they just have to say, this is what we are. This is what it tastes like, and that's it. Beyond Meat burger, right?
Here's my thing.
It's not really a substitute for beef.
I love meat. I want to root for it because when you think about like all that goes into producing meat, there's a lot that goes into it. Would it be if there was a way that everything about it was exactly the same? I couldn't tell the difference in taste. I can't tell the difference when I'm cooking it. I can't tell none of it matters, and it's somehow plant-based. Well, it'll be cheaper. It'll be better for the environment. At that point, I won't have a leg to stand on. Then in someone like me, you'll get me to convert. I think ultimately that would be a good thing. But you know what? Happening yet. Also, I wouldn't be deceived by this move. Because I'm looking at Beyond Meat's chart while we're talking about stock up 13%, which is all trend up. Like there's the last good up day. What did it do? Topping tail, and then the next day downside. Almost every single good green day is a topping tail and then a rejection. Topping tail, rejection. And it looks like where it closes, it tries to open and then fails the same price. Here's the one example where it had a follow through, and even then, topping tail and rejected the prior day high. So it has a long history, well, a recent history. If I zoom out, you can see it's a long history too, of bamboozling you in the short term. So I actually might have this one on the radar this afternoon. And we have to pay for locates. Because from VWAP, that's a very clean trend to the upside. So if it breaks it, there might be a bit of a trade there. USO just made another fresh low of the day. So
yeah, I mean, the market's at the highs.
Yeah, the market's at the high, oil's at the lows, but the acceleration, volume and volatility not there. So yeah, this one for a trend break, it'll probably be free locates. And when I say free, I mean like 1/8 of 1 cent or whatever the number is. So I'll have a look at Beyond Meat. And good luck. Yeah, I wish them the best. The problem with them too is like, can they survive to get to the point that they can capture more of the market?
No, they can't. I mean, they've already failed. It's just a matter of, I don't think it's an investable thing. I just do hope that it does survive. Their stock has been diluted, and it's sub $1, man. I mean, that thing was $90 or even more than that at one point, of course.
It was over 100.
Oh yeah, I think it was easily.
I think it was 130
at one point for sure. All right, so I just wanted to talk just quickly about the futures, because you just mentioned that, with oil taking out highs, and there we go, the market has just broke the high. I think generally speaking, this would be, the mark on my screen over there. This would be a nice high break to take. So I was just looking here at a 1 minute chart of the TQs. This 50 period, it hasn't been great. It was really choppy early there. And then that break, I mean, that could have been maybe a long rate there as you break underneath and then back above it. You don't even get close to the 200 period moving average. So it's not like we can say, wow, I mean, that was an awesome takedown there at the 200 period. But yeah, you know, you'd have to think long, and I wasn't really thinking long, the market today. But right into there, 49.80, that's a good little bottom. I was thinking about if we could come back in and maybe have a look, if we zoom in, maybe if we could have a look, it's not like a crazy long look or anything like that, but maybe 05s, and then give it down. Like 10 cents seems so silly because I can, you know, you can get wicked out. The problem is like when I see trades like this, even if you put on 1,000 shares or something that you would consider a lot of shares right into there, you know, 10 cents down could happen just on a headline, and then you get taken out, and then, you know, it's kind of like, what have I done? I think I'm going to wait until we can get, if we do fall back in, maybe a little lower, 49.90, something like that, where then we can maybe use these as our spot. I don't know if you can tell by the way I'm speaking, like I'm not very convinced of a strategy right here, right now, to trade the market. I don't, too scared is probably actually the right word. Just nervous about a headline that wicks you out of a possible trade because it's just so tight. Right into there right now. I think I'm going to look at stocks instead for now. Okay, Marvell. Marvell's a good situation here. We just dripped down. Now we know we like the stock. We've talked about this a couple times here, how well it's done. It's extended out. I didn't have it on the sticky note today, but there goes Marvell. We did get out of some at 133 this morning to the dollar, so to the penny. So that was a good trade for us, just getting out of 20% of our position on Marvell, so that's good. Coming back in, there's the move. So you do have a breakout. It's kind of like Netflix there, where we've broken, you know, through the top. Netflix broke through 100. Now we've broken through that 127 top, and we came right back in and sort of has absorbed this 129.50 area. Was good in the morning. Was kind of good there at 10, although we got into 129, and we came right back. Now you're looking to take everything out. More love back in at 130, 130 and a quarter. If Marvell can come back down here, you got support of the 200, the 50 and the 25, looking to go higher. I like Marvell down here. Hopefully this one will come back and we'll be able to grab along. But trying to stay long on strong names, and Marvell to me would fit that as we're trying to get a little higher. What's up, Adara?
So as you know, SanDisk is going to join the NASDAQ 100 as of April 20th, so 4/20, 2026. And with that in mind, I decided to do some research because why not? And I have a new infographic. So the whole concept for this was which were companies that were both added to and removed from the NASDAQ 100 starting in 2020 all the way up to the present. So that basically means that these companies were added basically around the start of the pandemic, and they were removed sometime before now. So these companies spent anywhere from 4 years to, in one case, and I'm not joking, 4 days in the NASDAQ. These are, we call them NASDAQ 100 visitors. They didn't stay too long. Famous examples here include SMCI. We also had Versant, which was briefly in the index after it was split off from CSA, and then it couldn't even last a week. You had MongoDB, which had a pretty brief run, Enphase as well, and Rivian also spent a couple months here in the NASDAQ. So if you want to take a look at the, I guess what's the opposite of the greatest hits? The worst hits of the NASDAQ 100, you can check this out on X at TTV Research. I just posted this, and I will put the link here in the chat for you guys if you're curious to see some of the saddest runs of the NASDAQ 100. Also, if you're wondering why is AstraZeneca up 60% but removed from the NASDAQ, that's because it was going to become a NYSE name. They were going to basically move their listing to the NYSE, and Walmart had just become a NASDAQ name, so they kind of did a flip-flop. That's why this is the only green name on this list. Back to you.
We were just wondering about, did you double-check that Lucid one?
I have no idea. I checked this because I didn't believe this, but this is apparently real.
I would not have, $200
I don't remember
on
that being true.
Trebek on names that you didn't know were included in the NASDAQ 100 for $5,000. Answer Lucid, like I'd have no idea.
I would honestly never.
That was how do they even qualify to get in there would be a question.
That's ridiculous. It doesn't even make any sense.
I don't know either, but all right, Lucid. Maybe it was having one of those dreams. Lucid.
It was basically only.
It was all a dream. Yeah, I mean, whether or not you were reading Word Up magazine or not, I don't know. But there it goes for Lucid. Yeah, so I did reload just a little bit there. We didn't get our full reload because I was waiting at 45s, but we did get a little bit more silver at 42s there, 41s. I did have to punch in a little bit, so it's not a huge reload by any stretch. So giving us an average price of 34. My reload was at 45s. And we just missed it. I was only going to try to give it to 50s on a break, so I was being real conservative with this move back up in silver. And when you get a bounce off the 200 period moving average like that, that's not like this is not something that I would want to layer into because it has that support. It's been pretty good down there. We bounced off of it right here as well to the upside. Oh yeah, so I went red on silver because I did take a position there, and my stop order, I went to the gym, and it was just a small one, thankfully, because we already got stopped out there. But I had to run it all the way to the upside, and then we had to average in to our position there. And I like the silver short. It was on the note today, but definitely lack of focus, I guess. I mean, I thought I had to stop in and didn't. So if you see that, I let it run against me basically $1 all the way to the upside there. But we did not have a big position on because we had already done this. We were just kind of trying to reload a little bit there. So we were able to get away from it. But red on silver, hopefully this will come back in. And if we can get a 50 period, we'll take that 68 10s, 15s. And then definitely, if we get anything out at 60, like we're still far away from this, man. I mean, I don't know. We're entering the hour of power, so maybe we'll get something. But I'm not super excited about this trade. Let's see if we can get it back into $68, and that's that. I think it's well worth the risk to reward. We just took a 42s there, and to give us 10 cents worth of risk, so we're almost in it. We're bidding 31s to take some out, and then we'll work off of it from there. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Not a whole heck of a lot as we wait for this market to try to make a move one way or the other. And like I said about the futures, I liked it, right? But we would have already got stopped out, I think, on that, or maybe close on that long. Like if we were taking sort of a break there, it gets up to 16s and now back in. So watch out. This looks like a good long here, $50.05 or so for the TQs. That's something that I'm looking at.
Actually, the name, Beyond Meat just broke the trend line, but it's actually another name that I like as well. So, it's Power Hour.
Ooh.
See, that time, every now and then I'm like, I don't hear it. We don't notice it. Is it even happening? It's like the pokeroo, but that time we know there's only an hour left in the market, so there's the trend break in Beyond Meat. The other name I was looking at, because of the market's at the highs, I wanted to look for things that I think are a little bit extended,
There's a
that are
move
weak
higher.
stocks, and the market makes fresh highs, and you're making a lower high. SMCI falls into that category for me. Like it's been a disaster for them. It hasn't filled in the entire gap. As long as it's underneath this like 2670 level, I just still like it for some reversal plays. And because you have already pulled back, it tried to put in a higher low and then work back into the downside. I like that. So in addition to Beyond Meat, as long as USO goes down, I'll just be holding battle, and that's still happening. But I like this one. Try to get into this short here, hopefully around 80, and then give it to the prior high as we go over and back to the left.
Volatility, as we all know, does create movement. And for sophisticated traders, movement creates opportunity. And Beta Pro by Global X offers Canada's first and longest running suite of levered and inverse levered ETFs, built for sophisticated investors who understand the risks of leverage and the importance of precision. Its triple levered bull and bear ETFs tied to the NASDAQ 100 are designed for daily tactical trading, providing amplified daily exposure and giving traders tools to engage with both upward momentum and market pullbacks. These strategies are currency hedge, seeking to offset US dollar exposure back to the Canadian dollar. For those navigating short-term market moves, up or down, Beta Pro offers a flexibility to act with conviction, whatever that looks like for your individual strategy, objectives, and risk profile. Trade tactically and learn more at betapro.ca. And with that, we're going to go back over to Miss Adara.
Yeah, let's talk about USO because, I mean, not much of a move here, but there is a headline that I think is kind of interesting. CNN reporting that U.S. officials are considering having a second face-to-face meeting with the Iranians before the expiry of the 2-week ceasefire. And as we know, the ceasefire has been tenuous, is putting it really mildly. But either way here, it looks like U.S. and Iran might come to the table once again, or at least the U.S. is considering that. Back to you.
So that would make sense on this market move to the high side right now.
US although it's bouncing a bit.
Yeah, I want to tell everybody this. $1. We'll take out some more on NVIDIA. I mean, NVIDIA just spiked right into this area. I mean, we would be, I don't know, ill-advised, I think, not to take something out. We topped out right here at 12. We topped out again at 1. We topped out that's 12:30, then again at 1, and we just did it again right now at 3. We top out high side on the NVIDIA trade. So we're going to sneak a little bit more out and get lighter and lighter. And by the way, here we go again. It's another hot dog cannon. What's up, guys? Have those glizzies, but don't have too many of them. And if you're interested in Beyond Meat glizzies, those exist as well. But there it is. Nice move right here on silver. We'll take another bid there at 30. I was waiting for 27s. We did get, I think we got a little piece. No, we did not at all. So here it is. There's the reload. There's the move down. Look, man, it's only 30. It's only 12 cents right now, but still, you know, what we're trying to do is stack it up right now. So if we can start stacking up our day, we'll do that. Positive day, so we're happy with that turnaround on silver, but we are still looking for a takedown here and then here. So there it is. Okay, we get our 27s finally, so that's good. And now we'll wait for 15s, and then we'll wait for O's, and then maybe we do get a splash down to the downside. Congratulations to the Toronto Raptors as they now qualify in there for the playoffs, 5th seed. So they get out of that whole,
get who the Cavs,
you know, 6, 7. Oh, shit, you said it again there. What is it? 8? How does that work again? It goes to 9, 10, and 7, 8, right?
You get to do the play-in games, yeah.
Yeah. I just can't forget which who gets that there.
Somebody, who was an athlete that did this? There was an athlete that randomly did the 6, 7. It doesn't really matter. No,
let's not try to remember.
No, but we get the Cavs. I love the Raptors. I don't know, but
who knows? Whatever, however it goes.
Chip in a chair, right? Like
Yeah,
you want to get in the playoffs, get the extra revenue, all that kind of good stuff. It's always nice to make the playoffs. I just find the NBA, like every other sport, I feel like when your team makes the playoffs, like you generally are like, hey, we're in the dance, we have a shot.
Yep.
In hockey, that's true. In baseball, you know that like any team can make it. You've seen the Marlins have some ridiculous runs every now and then. I think even in football, you'll get some miracles. Like nobody thought the Giants could beat the Patriots. Like that, it'll happen. In basketball, that ain't happening, man. It's just flat out. It's the only one of the major. It is not.
You don't have as many upsets.
You can't do it because basketball is the one sport. You cannot stop the best players from having a huge impact on the game these days. It's just not happening. Like you can maybe slow a good quarterback if they don't have a good defense. In hockey, the best guy can only play 20, 25 minutes in a game. In baseball, you don't know who's going to come up in a key situation. The pitcher can't pitch every single game. In basketball, your dude can sit there running the offense for 2/3 of the game, just rolling. And I don't know what you do about that. That's why I like the NCAA more. I just find when you watch the tournament, you always know it's going to be.
Maybe not this year.
Okay, well, this year Michigan was kind of one of those unfair. I don't want to say unfairly stacked team, but what are you going to do? They basically Fab Fived it again, and were unbeatable the entire tournament. For the most part, a lot of the games were very, very good. Just to go back to trading for a quick second, Pops Mafia, I did not know the WNBA draft was tonight. I had no clue, and I'll be.
Well, the franchise,
there's a franchise draft for.
They already drafted, yeah. So the Toronto Tempo already have a lot of their players. I don't know if the draft is tonight. Okay.
What do they call it? Dispersal? What is that?
Expansion draft.
Expansion draft. That's the word I'm looking for. But back to trading just for a quick little second. I did hop into the SMCI. It pulled into the even dollar. You can see all the support that's there. Until it breaks this down, I think it's a scalp in the range, and then look for the breakdown a little bit further. Beyond Meat is still, BYND. BYND. Needs to pull back to 66.5. I have 66.5. Needs to pull into 65.5, 65, 64. And the prior bar in the trend line will be just shy of the 67.5. So, Sonny, that's what I was just sort of saying. Like, every penny until we get to VWAP, I'm risking a cent. So every penny down until it gets to the volume-weighted average price on this trend break. I'm not saving my trend lines because I feel like that was part of the issue I was having this morning. So I'll just keep drawing them just for posterity. Oh, and USO was catching a bit of a bid. So as that's happening, I go back over and say, all right, battalion oil. Every time I see them bouncing, it's like, it's probably a good reason to try and hop on the mid, see if I can't grab a fill, because this is loosely following USO. If that trends back up, then I want to be able to get out, maybe short one more pop, because we are in the power hour and there's not that much time. And Minnesota Trader, short SMCI, you are crazy. I think it's necessarily crazy. It's just a lower high, trend trade, topping tail there, give it to the prior bar. Crazy is holding on to it if it breaks this candle high. To me, that's crazy, but I'll take it. I'll take a reversion trade if I like it and it sets up either way.
a little bit of a out there again on Netflix as we're trying to break down again. So, you know, we're getting lighter and lighter, but this one is
Still going.
So we're right here, man. I mean, this is just this is what I'm trying to do, right? There's a good play for us on SLV. Let's take out a little bit more as we just did right there. I just put a bid at 18s. I mean, it came right in. So we got 21s, but you know, that level's 18. We'll see if we can sit there on the 50 period, and then we'll wait for that 68. So that's working out for us as well. Nothing's really hitting gold, maybe. Let me see what that's doing as we're trading on silver right now. So same, very similar chart here for silver and gold. The futures are pulling back a little bit here in the NASDAQ. Let's check out Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs did have their, oh wow, okay. Did have their report earlier today. They got as low as 372 or so, 372, 872. It looks like they got as low as 866. They opened up in those 70s range. Nice little dip down there, as we mentioned that their conference call hit it and quit it, and then straight upside pretty much from there. Nice little pullback, wow. Right into the 200 period moving average right there. That was pretty sweetly bought up. And then there it goes, blasting higher. Goldman Sachs ready to go take out the day's high. So congratulations to anybody that believed in those bank earnings, because you got paid off. And JP Morgan, they're coming tomorrow, baby. So we'll see if that can work out as well. JP Morgan, nice upside play over the last little while. The bank that I own the most shares in, or I guess not shares, exposure-wise there, because I own more shares of SoFi than I do JP Morgan, but my dollar amount is more in JP Morgan, of course.
Do you have more in the U.S. banks than Canadian ones?
Yes, I barely have any Canadian money left.
I've never really sold. Well, I shouldn't say.
I never really bought.
I sold some TD, but I've never really sold my.
Yeah, I bought them maybe 20.
They just don't go down.
30 years ago, to be honest with you. Yeah, so nice upside play there. Yeah, JP Morgan, the largest bank that I own right now, and then probably SoFi, and then some Canadian exposure there.
Speaking of SoFi.
Yeah, and hopefully Robinhood's trying to bounce as well, but is SoFi, yeah, up 4%. That's a great one. I hope people are trying to buy those dips. Right there.
17 incoming.
Yo, what up,
Don't
Chef
look
Joe?
now, but SoFi is it's recovering. 15 bottom held, 16 bottom is holding. 17 looks to break, and then when you get 18, that'll be that 50-period moving average that is always so exciting. Yeah, I like this. I like what's going on with SoFi. I think you look for some potential continuation. Although if it doesn't break 17, you're probably thinking like 16.5 tomorrow, like a buy the dip scenario, as opposed to like hoping they'll just cleanly fill in that gap. Remember, SoFi also got the whole. Well, they lost eligibility to be added to the S&P 500 because the market cap was too small. So there's going to be that as well as it gets closer. I think it's like 22. Shouldn't be that. It doesn't need that big of a move. I'd have to double check, but it shouldn't take that big of a move for it to get back. But that could turn into a bit of a wall. So worth watching out for that. I think it's a bit overrated. A lot of times when a company that wasn't the highest percent to get in, it doesn't get in. Like at no point was SoFi the favorite, so why were people freaking out they didn't get in? At no point, like Marvell, it's weird. Like Marvell was down that one day because they got overlooked for the S&P 500. On the betting markets, they weren't even in the top 5. So it wasn't like people were betting heavily it was going to be them. So why were they even down in the first place? I can understand if it was like 40% chance that Marvell is going to get it, and then okay, some people were disappointed, but it wasn't even on the short list whenever we tracked it. And I'm guessing, oh, do I still have it open? I might. I'm going to gamble that I didn't change it, and I still have, Ask Gemini. Oh, the last thing I looked at was Masters Champion. So I will go, see, it's pretty simple. You just go S and P, and no. Come on.
Maybe it's just SP.
Here we go.
Oh, you found it?
It should be this. Which companies will be added to the S&P 500 this quarter? SoFi still number 2, despite the fact that they're not even eligible. Hashtag logic. Who cares? It's still that Alnylam Pharmaceuticals is still number 1. And then Reddit's number 3. So Reddit, 25%. Pure Storage. CoreWeave, 7%. Firm. SpaceX. Of course, SpaceX.
Oh, yeah, well, they're trying to get that quick.
Yeah, like they're trying to get immediately into the S&P.
Into the NASDAQ, I think it was.
It's like how heavily, apparently maybe the S&P as well.
Either way.
That's an interesting way to rug pull. Get them right into the index, give it a little bit of extra bounce before you rug everybody.
Now know how I feel about that instant ad type thing, because I think the thing is, if this is going to be maybe as volatile as it could be, especially early on. That could have maybe an outsized effect on the index, especially if you're going public at $1 trillion valuation, right? I think there are a couple things to consider here. I'm prepared for the hate I will get for this comment, but I actually don't think it's such a good thing to give this one like an extra leg up to get into the index faster. And that's not because of, I have nothing, I'm not trying to have anything against Elon here. My issue is purely with how this could impact the index in a really outsized way.
Well,
So Adara hates SpaceX, basically. Yeah. Well, I know Adara.
I think the larger problem is it's getting a little ridiculous how long these companies wait to go public. It used to be, I remember back in the good old days.
Well, there's so much money out there in private markets.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Right, so they can get their funding. I mean, look at Anthropic and any of these OpenAI. I mean,
same thing.
These guys are going to come with trillion-dollar valuations, and people have already paid those valuations, so they don't need sort of the public markets to give them that valuation. So they're able
so much access,
and then they don't have to disclose, anything because they're still private. So they don't have to open up their books, and everyone can see what a disaster cash burn OpenAI is right now, right?
Well, one of the reasons it's a possible reason why XAI. And
that is what Elon's trying to do.
Like the reason why they made that combination is then you can take all the huge losses in XAI and sort of hide them underneath SpaceX there, which is more reasonable. I mean, it's not like they're turning a gigantic profit or anything like that, but a little bit more reasonable. So it's just a different market. It's so different from when we were starting to trade. Like IPOs, like they were real shots. Like I remember when Facebook came to market. Like this was like it was. People were talking about it and excited about it, but like nobody was excited on the bid that day. It was the literal opposite, and look what it turned into. Here we go.
Not so funny anymore. Hey, I'm not the only one doing my taxes over there. Hey, Big Joe.
What was that?
The guy's looking for his employee number. He's looking for this and for that.
Oh, he was asking me about that stuff too.
And he's over here. You don't worry about your power pay, my guy over there. You're trying to hack into something. Go try to hack into Joe's account there and find his employee number for him. I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Nice and secure.
I'm employee -1. I've been here. It's funny because.
What?
Bro, I told Joe we have an accounting department that should be able to.
I told you who
We're
to
just
email.
idiotic traders.
Okay, so
over
first
here.
of all, I already told Joe emailed one of these two people.
Yep.
So if you did that and didn't get an answer, fair enough. But I can't tell you anything else.
We're
man.
publicly blowing up Joe's scene.
There's an
here.
accounting person that you email.
And
barring that, there's one other person that you email. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Ruchi Super Chat.
Why
Suggestions on VRT and Corning. Oh my goodness. So Corning. I don't even know what's going on.
So the system that he's trying to log into, I've never even logged into it ever.
Hold on a second.
I don't know.
I want to say I've logged into it, but then I'm going to probably.
I don't even know where my tax, my T4. I don't even know where that is. Whatever, man.
I must.
The government just knows everything. If you use TurboTax,
you don't need to. I don't even have the app.
Exactly.
On my phone.
This is what I'm saying.
Joe, you don't need to log into it.
If you use TurboTax and all that stuff, you don't
Joe's freaking out over this.
Joe. Okay, so anyway.
Sorry, the super chat was about Corning, and I think it was Vistra was the other one.
It was Vertiv.
Vertiv, sorry, my bad. Oh, it's right there. It's VRT, my bad. I misread that one. Corning, look, Corning is an absolute rocket ship. Hey, man, where's my moon thing? There we go. One of my favorite things about stock, and it was the reason why I love G Vernova so much lately, is when something you like respects one of your fun moving averages so well. It's just look at the gold that it just holds there on the 50 period. To me, you're not concerned about this until it stops breaking the 50. I know it's extended now. Usually I'm the kind of guy that I'll slap a trend line on the most recent move and then just trail some out if I'm concerned about taking profits and making sure that I make something on it. And then I'll look for that 50 period to hold. And the time that it doesn't, fair enough. You can reevaluate and reassess at this point. And then it was Vertiv. It wasn't Vistra. It was Vertiv. For some reason, that's where my head went when I saw the V and the T. But it's the same look, right? Like it's a very similar structure. They're breaking out. Earlier today, someone said, Neil, what do you do with Fibonacci's? And what I was talking about when I mentioned Fibs was I don't use Fibonacci's when things are, like blue sky setups. Like I'm more of a draw a trend line and let it break. I know some people will say look at the last like bounce move and then slap some fibs on. I don't really use them. I get it. Sometimes it can be a good way to find profit-taking levels or pullback levels. It's just not something that ever worked for me. I tried, don't get me wrong, I tried like 15, I don't know, somewhere, it was probably more than 15 years ago, maybe 20. Somewhere between 50 and 20 years ago, I tried incorporating Fibonacci's into trading, and I didn't have any success with it, so I just didn't use them. But I know some people have success with using that as a place to take profit or using that as an area to maybe like look for like a dip buy or something along those lines. So I have nothing against fibs. I'll be the first person to tell you, like I'm just more of a structure, like support, resistance. I like trend lines a little bit better, but I'll jump out. We got our first profit take out there on SMCI, and then it kind of just broke out that prior bar by a couple of cents. They usually give it like an extra cent, just so you're not getting wicked out there. But it gave it to that 1-to-1. So took the shot. If it came to VWAP, great. It doesn't look like it wants to. The market's still strong. Just look at what happened here on USO, which was trending higher, and is now starting to come back in. What's up with that chart? Anyways, this is what the USO chart really looks like. There, that's better example. I don't know why that's missing so much data, but it's just rolling back over on another lower high. That might give me an opportunity to take the consolidation that's happening on Battle, and instead of just continually getting out, just kind of look at the trend that it's on, and if USO is going to roll over, I can move my stop to the trend line out, but also if it breaks down, add to it on a breakdown, and then leave the stop in here in case it breaks the trend. Some ominous beeping going on in the back.
Yeah, you might have saw some work being done around here.
Sounded like a battery. Every time I hear a beep, that sounds like the power.
Oh, the battery backup.
The battery backup.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that breaking
I get
down.
PTSD over that.
Nothing's really hitting anywhere for me right now. It's not trying to be lazy or anything. I'm trying to get out right now of Netflix. Silver busted back up, which sucks, but honestly, man, we talked about how light we were. It came into our level. We almost got the 200 period moving average, so we'll just wait on that. Shout out to Chef Joe. See you in the chat, my guy. Hope all is well over there. Talk about Chef Joe. This man is a Tesla guy, so let's have a quick look here and see Wagwan with Tesla right now. When am I getting the Rivian? It's not in Canada. I told you that already.
But what? No, but when is?
I don't know.
Oh, it's still not. Okay.
Yeah, no, they're waiting for the release of the R2 is what will be happening in my familia right there. All right, yeah, so Tesla right now, 350, looking to, like, I would buy I just don't think the Model Y, I'm not in love with the Model Y. I don't know why. I don't know why the Model Y. I actually like the Model X, but they've discontinued that. Maybe I'll try to get a Model X on discount. It's so funny. Marissa today send me a message and says, ooh, I like the look of Fiskars. I'm like, no, you know they're bankrupt, right? We're not getting any Fisker over in here.
Does that still trade?
No. Well, I think someone asked about it. It might have been on the OTC, but I don't think it really trades anymore. FSKRQ, maybe. But okay, so anyways, yeah, Tesla. Good support level for sure right here at 350. I mean, Tesla today was actually pretty much the trade that I'm looking for every day. It happened today on Tesla and I don't have it. So it's funny, not funny. But and that was just, it was building. First of all, straight off the open, whatever, man. I'm done kind of looking. We did a sort of a lesson on that today, right at 2 o'clock. You can go find it. It'll be posted later. And it was just on some of the noise that happens right off the open and some of the liquidity vacuums and whatnot. Tesla's probably a number one violator of that every day, and Palantir can be like that as well. So can the futures, where they just go back and forth until they finally find a base. Well, today the base was kind of easy because it was just VWAP. It just kept on basically holding out there on VWAP before pumping through. And the fun part is this is also 350. So you also were rejecting back and forth 348, 350, 348, 350, and then it broke higher there. So you could actually play it both ways. Either a low break there, breaking the 50 period, maybe into the 200. But this one you had to support a VWAP, and there's the break higher. And then right back in here again, multiple rejections and hold of 350 here today. So that just happened. And don't have it, but that would have been a great little look down there. So if and when things go potentially awry here, we'll look to see about maybe bidding up some Tesla if and when that comes through, back down into 350 or so on Tesla. I don't mind that trade. And then because you asked me about Rivian, we looked at Rivian today. It was a good hold at $15, and wow, there it goes up 3%. So yeah, man, could have made my payment a little less on the Rivian there if we would have gone long a couple 10,000 shares down there. We would have been able to make $5,000, and then we would have put a down payment, but we were not going to do that with Rivian. There it is, nice little movement there, 1535 low, and Rivian kind of the same way, based out at the pre-market lows and then took off. So definitely worth looking at tomorrow. Rivian up 3%, much more aggressive than the market today. Adair, what you got for us over there?
For you guys, it's a headline from the Iran-China Chamber of Commerce. So take this how you will, but I guess the president of Iran-China Chamber of Commerce and Industry said that the second round of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran is scheduled to take place this weekend. So again, reportedly, now we've heard from both, reportedly the U.S. and Iran, they're going to try to do some more negotiations. It could actually be happening this weekend. Back to you.
This weekend, so it's only Monday.
Yeah,
so
we
got a little bit of time to go before we worry about that.
A lot of time.
Over there. So we'll wait. I think it's I do think it's getting close and closer here, but who knows, man?
It feels
JD Vance came back
it's seemingly
empty-handed. So
it's still seemingly like better. It's more good than bad. That's the way I'll put it. At this point, it sounds like it's not gonna get that much worse, but we've said that before, and that ended up not being true. That RMSG, which was, I mean, I guess it was already up 380% because it just got back into the highs. It did halt, opened up, is holding the high. It's just having some trouble doing anything with it at this point. Hasn't really taken out the top in a while, which is a bit different for it. It's not at an obvious bag hold level, but like that'd be like 250, but worth a watch. Sam's in the chat is asking how much, okay, I see you. I know you posted a couple times. How much Apple might rally up to 265 or 270 before the earnings report at the end of the month? All we can do is all you can really do is look at the chart. Right now, we're worrying about 265 and 270 when for 3 days in a row, the 50-period moving average has been resistance. So I would almost think if that breaks away, it would seem to me like it's got a little bit more room than that. Like if it gets pent up here at that 50 period, which is about $260. Like look at all the selling here. Fail break at 260, comes back in.
Come on.
Tops 260, fail break 260. This morning, tops 260. So I think the longer you go sideways there, when it lost to the downside, man, what a bottom that was, that 245. But that was on the it was the fold story.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, well, is it? It was kind of a fake news. Wow. Well, yeah, I guess we'll call it a fake news story that the fold was having production problems. Snapped it right back up, so you can almost discount that bottom and not care. But I think you break away from 260, and I think you got some room. The longer it consolidates there, the better. I'd say the room to 70, 75. I like Apple. Candidly, I own Apple shares, and I did dip by on that day. It wasn't because I thought it was fake news or anything. There was cash that I hadn't deployed in this pullback. I'm like, well, some things didn't really come into the levels that I wanted. Oh, I can get Apple here. Let's go with some of that. So I just put some cash in there, just because it looked like it was ridiculous. I'm like, why are we down so much over the fold? They'll get it right. I mean,
yeah, they do.
There's companies that know how to build things and have proven that. It's like, well, you deserve the benefit of the doubt in terms of building stuff if you're Apple, I would think. That's just my personality. Like, anytime I hear a story like that, I'm like, is it really a problem? They tend to figure it out. Good engineers are good engineers at the end of the day, and they have good engineers.
Of course they do. Yeah, they have the most loyal customer base in the world, and they've already won consumer products of the year and all this kind of stuff many times.
If a company's never built anything before at scale, and then you start hearing production issues, that's a really big red flag. Or like if maybe they produce, but they're trying, like their scale's going up 10x or something, and you start hearing rumors, you got to be a little bit concerned. Here's an example, like Intel. I know the stock's doing great, but they've typically been like a couple of nanometer cycles behind TSM in terms of high-end chips. So there's always concerns when they try to move up what the yield would be. And that is reasonable because I know the stock's doing well, but Intel has consistently lagged behind. Like wherever TSM is, they tend to be 1 or 2 steps back in terms of efficiency on higher end chips. And that's part of the reason why all the top high end chips are fabricated, most of the TSM, and then the rest of them basically at Samsung, and most of it's TSM. The other reason, of course, is, well, if all the high-end chips are made in Taiwan, then it's like this, they call it like the Silicon Shield, right? If all of the US companies have their top chips fabricated in Taiwan, there's less of a chance that you know what happens to Taiwan from China. We'll see.
Okay.
That's one of those things that doesn't get talked about a lot, but it's implicitly there. And if you did, and I know they're investing, everyone's investing in making more plants there. If that were to change, geopolitically, I think it'd be easier for them to be some fireworks. But my goodness, Intel another 4% today. This is one of the most overbought, if you use RSI in the S&P, and showing no signs of slowing down at this point. Like Intel's at levels that we haven't seen since 2021, let's say.
Yeah, probably not far.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah, I think, look, this is ridiculous. This is the biggest monthly candle. We're not even like halfway through the month. This gets to 68. Instead of looking for longs in Intel, maybe start thinking about fades. This is a big level, man. We rejected this high back in 2000 for all-time highs. Look at the topping tails here at 67. Then the same thing in 2001, same thing, 2021, same thing in 2020 or 2019. Either way, like Intel's chewing into some big, big levels.
We'd definitely like to be long on Intel, so that was a good one there. You know, what else is chewing into some levels right now is Bitcoin, and we'll see if Bitcoin wants to take this level out right now, 75,000. We got excited and bought back at 66, probably back in February. I would not have bought it on this move, but back into here. So this is where I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, and we haven't done anything since. So we'll see if it can get going right now on a daily chart. If we go over here just to even a 10-minute chart, oh, get out of here. There it is, right? So Bitcoin trying to show strength right now, big time. Nice little break higher there off of their 200-period moving average off as well. Just looking, we're starting to get going here. Netflix finally starting to go. We did get a little bit more shares on SLV, but there goes Bitcoin. Watch out for this 74, 75. If we even go, let's go to a 1-hour time frame just to see what we are actually looking at. So yeah, I would say like that was, I mean, you can't 70,500. If we can maybe get that tomorrow, let's look at that level instead of a little lower. I wrote down 41 on IBIT today as a possible short, but it just looks like Bitcoin starting to get going. So I don't even know what level 41 was on here. It looks like 41 actually did good. The first time we got up to 41 was downside. I'm not making it up. Like it's right here. We have written down here, IBIT, $41 short. Wait for a pop, then short that top. But I guess it must have been from, yeah, there it is right here. So this is what we were looking at. 41 right into here from Friday's action. But we don't have that play today as it goes right up to the top side, 41.60.
You know what, though? It was working. Because I had a similar level, but then there was the move in oil basically completely kibosh that trade to a certain extent because it looked like it was going to come in some lower highs and hold it again. Like it was a trend break. It kind of filled the gap in here, turned, broke trend, and looked like it was going to be the same thing all over again. And then, of course, you had that big dip down in oil, which shot the market up a second time. The level was going, I shouldn't say it was going to work, but the level in the area was working up until you had USO start to act and behave differently. And we talked about that. Like when that bar happened at about 1240, you're going into some big levels over there on IBIT, and that's when it was trying to come back in. It looked like it could fade, but then you just go in the other direction. So you can have technicals. They tend to not matter once you start going into like big, massive market moving events when oil's going to lead the futures. That's just what it is. Pops Mafia first was asking, saying, look at the move on Pfizer. Pfizer doesn't move. What are we talking about? Pfizer never moves. Hey, Pfizer's moving. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did we miss something on Pfizer? On volume. This is on volume, too. Like, if you look at this, this is significant. That's significant volume on Pfizer. Like the volume bar just now, that's the equivalent of almost the last couple of closing candles on Friday. You only get these on the actual closing candle and going into some highs here. So Pfizer, legitimate move into some resistance at 27.5. I liked it. The Pfizer chart's an interesting one because it's the first time it hasn't sucked in a while. They get bottomed out. It's above and holding, trend up on the 50 period. It's not a bad looking chart, but blind, I have no idea why it just got the volume spike. Adara?
Nothing on Pfizer. I did look into it. I checked on social media. I checked on Benzinga. Nothing on Benzinga. Social media last post tagging Pfizer was 32 minutes ago. So there's quite literally nothing as of right now. I want to mention as well here some comments coming from the IEA, which is an energy organization. The leader of the IEA, Fatih Birol, saying that the energy impact in April could actually exceed that of March when it comes to how the conflict was impacting the energy market. He's also saying that no country will be spared and that they're assessing the need for further reserve releases. They're ready to release more oil here if required. Back to you.
No country for old men. That was a good. That was a good movie there. Like, start voting.
One of the best villains ever.
Yeah, yeah. I love that cattle. The cow prod thing there.
What's that actor's name again?
Del Torres? Javier Bardem or something.
That's
like
the guy.
That? Yeah. Good.
Freaking brilliant.
Yeah, good one there, Javier. Yeah. Okay, here one. Very easy, man. People are already voting. Green or red? 0 votes. You can go in there. Push 1 to green today. Are you green or are you red? As you've already entered into Power Hour. I was gonna put flat as an option too, but I just figured like it can't be exactly flat. So if you're green or red, this is kind of cool because this is going to affect this. Bar here, so that's kind of cool. So it looks like, wow, guys, wow. And I find this is the case, right? Whenever the market battles back, I just feel like on average, we do have, wow, what? 82% of you are green. Okay, well, you are smoking than the average prop trader, I'd say, because that is a great stat. 82% green. Okay, I hope you guys are being honest because that's
the reverse of usual prop.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's an awesome number. So congratulations to everybody over there today, green v red, and that's an absolutely amazing number. So congratulations to everybody today who is on the green side. 83% of you guys right there. So if you are part of this, whether or not you're on TikTok or wherever you're at, make sure you do hit that on your screen and it will calculate your vote and you'll be part of that as well. So green v red. Okay, right here, we'll get that off the screen right now. But right here, man, this is helping us get to green today, and that is, of course, SLV. And there's the reload again. So we were reloaded. We talked about reloading. So we'll do that right now. And this one's just, honestly, we got 44s there. As we said, we just took a 30, maybe, I don't know what that was, 34, 35 fill. We'll try to get another one right there. My stop is still 50s, so, 10 to 1 or so if we can get, 1 to 1 right now on 10 cents. If we can get that, then whatever. But I think silver, I mean, you see the way this market's going. A lot of assets classes getting lifted up. We just talked about Bitcoin running through some of the levels today as well. And there goes silver, just up and away on SLV. But good trade there for sure on silver. And then Netflix leading the way for me today. There it goes, man. Finally taking out that 103.51 area. And look, man, I mean, we should be, and this has been a problem for me in the past. Like, we need to be, when we nail the calls like we did today, we got to be green. And then there's Netflix today long. There's the silver short that we had earlier on as well. And then obviously this NVIDIA trade where Mr. Adam DeLuce said we should be framing this up. But that was a good one there as we wait for that dip down and boom, all the way up. Good outs there near the high of the day, 189.50, cleared out. And now we're starting to just, raise it up again. And there's 189. We'll see if, we might as well take a fill right now on NVIDIA as well. So a couple just good opportunities there as we recap a little bit of our trades. I just offered 88s. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. There on NVIDIA. Missed that 189. Didn't even have an offer there. We should have. So that's my bad as we start to pull back in a little bit here. But hopefully the market will just keep on getting going, right? I mean, NVIDIA has been an amazing story in this rally back as well. And the reason why is it gets right into, again, like we say it there as well, I'm only a support and resistance trader, and right into there, comes right into 165, and then boom goes the dynamite upside there on NVDA. So if you haven't voted yet, do it now, and we'll close this up in 5 minutes. Wow, I still can't believe this. 81% of you are on the green side of things today. So congratulations over there to everybody. I'm going to end the voting very soon, but we could
imagine what I'm always curious about.
I was going to say, when the market's along,
what is our percentage? Yeah, because like, what percentage of the viewers are swing traders versus day traders? Because if you're like on that statistic about, or I don't know if it's a statistic or an observation, when you have a strong green day up, swing traders are more likely to be green. Whereas day traders, it doesn't matter what the market is doing because you tend to go in either direction. So I'm curious about that at some point. That's a better question to ask in the morning when we have like the maximum numbers of viewers. I think sometimes, and easy peasy, thank you for the super chat. We have Assassino take out the VIX. Okay. Well, I don't know if you're going to get Andre to take out the VIX for you. But you're obviously having a good day. Thank you for the 0.2%. Easy peasy always donates via super chat a portion of his profits for the day. But I can't show you a live chart of the VIX because here we have UVXY. But we do still have, there we go. We do have UVXY, which we can pull up, and it has been arrows to the downside, which is always good. It's only going down. And I saw Mike Peter Ryder saying he's like, I won't lie, I'm having a small up day. That's what it's all about. Like me, I'm having a down day, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Because ultimately, I never allowed, we talk about this in Lesson of the Day. Nothing got out of hand today. We managed to make sure our losers weren't too big. So, overall, it's been a good month. But, today the mean reversions weren't working as well. I think sometimes that'll be true when you have a market which has been accustomed to trend breaks. But we really only had trend breaks in one direction on the USO. Like it would go one way, like reject down, so market go up, but it wouldn't reject the other way. And if you're looking at volatility, here, I should actually, the VIX, get that out of the way. Why is that on every single page? I want to show you guys on TradingView here if I can, the VIX, because that's the more important thing, is to look at where the VIX is standing. Intraday, not a big deal, but we're back underneath 20, which I think is the more important point. Because we were talking about, at one point last week, we're like, oh, is the VIX going to hold above 30? Like, we have to worry about pressing it at 35. And then all of a sudden, now things are gone. Like, we're now consolidating lower on the VIX. And I think that bodes really well. Like, if you're talking about the market coming back to the all-time highs, if we hold down here, I think that's increasingly more likely. Yeah, you don't really need an assassin to take out the VIX today.
No, but you may need an assassin to put on, like we were saying there, some good trades, and we're happy to do that. And thanks, Mr. Englewood, there, giving some credit for Intel. But hey, man, you guys are the ones hitting the keys. Like Neil said, no matter what we talk about, it's your own. You guys got to control your own destiny there. And as Neil mentioned, it's never good to get blown out. And so glad to see that that's not happening to anybody, hopefully, there on the chat. But we're dropping some more down right now as other Zinc in the chat goes, traders got to trade. Yeah, not every day. Some days you can sit on your hands, but we're trading pretty actively today.
That could be a dangerous, to me, that's a dangerous sentiment.
Yeah, I don't
then it's like, yeah, well, cash is a position.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to trade every day.
The cash
for me, cash is I mean, if I see an opportunity, we're taking. I think we all do. So there it goes right there, 30s. I saw an opportunity, right? I mean, this is what we're doing. We're trading. So short. Good day here. Shorting. There's the short on silver. There it is. So if you've been sort of tagging along here with these trades, it's been a good one this afternoon, obviously. We got some more out on NVIDIA. Look at this Netflix trade. I mean, what are we even doing right there as we get that high? Just rating around at 103.50. I mean, we got to, right? Look at this level. We talked about support and resistance. Now Netflix is losing it damn self. You know what? I'm just going to punch out. What do I care? There it is. Out of that trade. That'll be your number one P&L name today. It's not even close. Will be Netflix right there. So here we go. Netflix. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that back tomorrow as well. I'm just tired of it. I don't want to. We had less than 10%, like 5% left, maybe not even. So we just punch out of that one. NVIDIA as well. Everything started turning around a little bit. Here we only have 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes until the imbalance right now. So make sure you do hit that like and that subscribe. Keep it going for us. And thanks to everybody for everything that you guys provide for us every day. I'm going to offer some more right here at 59. fine. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. And there goes silver again, you know, back into the money. We just shorted 42s there and downside play. We have JP Morgan, we have Goldman Sachs reported today, JP Morgan, Citigroup, all of them coming through tomorrow. And if I do go in to TTV Research and I look them up, and I look them up here on Twitter, and I go like this, and I go like that, and then I go like this, and then I find out this thing, NVIDIA. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the earnings plays this week, and I see something right here, so let's click on that and see what we've got. So this is thanks to Adair. If you go over to TTV Research, you will find this earnings calendar. It's not even close. The hardest working person here is Adara, and it's not close, but this is amazing here. JP Morgan, I mean, other than the guys working in the back, Andre, Fabian, and Ramin. But JP Morgan, BlackRock, tomorrow Wells Fargo, so a little bit of a talk there. Citi, this is one of my new favorite names on the board, Johnson & Johnson. Really love the way that chart is, love the dividend, love that stock. Been buying that one since I was a little wee one. Yeah, big Kramer pick, J&J. I'm all about Kramer picks, man. That guy has made me so much stupid money, it's crazy. ASML, Bank of America, these guys coming through. ASML should be a good story on Wednesday, so that's coming these are all pre-market, right? And then post-market, not too much action this week. JB Hunt, watch out for the transports as well. And then this is the one I think that a lot of traders probably holding in their account, especially after that deal with Warner Brothers fell through, maybe Netflix. PepsiCo, the second best consumer packaging company there next to Coke. Pepsi is right there as well. And then you've got Ally, and that's it. Nothing on Friday night. So, yeah, just really interesting here tonight. Fastenal.
ASML.
Oh, no, Fastenal was pre-market.
We already had Fastenal,
yeah. ASML will be a big one. How did I not see this logo right there? TSMC coming. Taiwan Semis coming on Thursday morning to start. Taiwan Semis really, they're a different business. Yeah, they're not going to give us the exact goods we want, but
they're a really good bellwether, often more than anything else. I find it's like, yeah.
Well, if they warn, there'll be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like you want to be concerned with their guys more than anything else. But ASML, ooh, yeah, that is I mean, some people, like, whatever. What do you call that? Like a downward sloping bull flag? Whatever the heck that channel is for a breakout. This one looks like it's primed to go. And it's just a little bit easier for the guys that make they basically make a machine that makes the chips, which makes it easier. Oh, Surf Films a lot is asking for the early look. Did we not show I thought I did.
I don't think we showed the imbalance today.
I didn't show the imbalances?
I don't know.
That's my bad. I thought I showed the early look. It's just CNQ, 3 million buy, Pfizer, 1.8 million sell, Kenvue's always there. UiPath, 1 million share buy, Pinterest, 860. Nothing that really stood out. And I had a look. Like Pfizer was a sell imbalance. Oh, well, actually, it would have worked. Who knew? So Pfizer was going ham for no news. At least Adair couldn't find any news. It was going ham on volume in the afternoon. Turns out there's a sell imbalance. How much of that was the sell imbalance comes in because it was making tops and pressing so much higher? But none of these really stand out as imbalances. Don't matter. Pfizer is one of the most, like, it's just so liquid that 1 or 2 million shares on the imbalance doesn't really matter. There's so much liquidity in Pfizer. It would need to be at least 3, 4, 5 million before it even moves the needle for me. And we're going to go to Adair and then 4 minutes till the imbalances.
This is pretty speculative, but keep an eye here in LYV, seeing some chatter on social media. Apparently, a threat actor is claiming to be selling a pretty large data set here of data from Live Nation Ticketmaster customers. Apparently, it's roughly 560 million users' data, which has been stolen. Again, this is just a claim from a threat actor. If I get more details, I'll let you know. But either way here, be aware of LYV with this story.
It's funny about Live Nation because I heard a story that's honestly, it bothers me a little bit, but I know it already happens. So there was a Dana White interview this last weekend because Trump showed up at UFC. And he said the only way that they were allowed to do the event on the White House lawn is if President Trump himself got 1,300 tickets sent to him himself. So you want to talk about, where do you think that's going to go, right? Watch out for StubHub, so on and so forth there. Why does one man need 1,300 tickets? And the guy even asked Dana White there, why would you
big family.
Why would you give that many to the president? And he's like, does that include like everybody for the White House? And you can go find the interview. Unless it was AI, I don't know, but it looked pretty real to me. And he goes, I don't know what the president's going to do with the tickets. He can sort of do whatever he wants with them. So I'm thinking like, people got to get paid around here. So always something about tickets. And that's why I just came up there with Live Nation, Ticketmaster and StubHub and all that. So, 1,300 tickets, I think you can probably fetch a pretty penny for each of those, even if you get $500 a ticket, still not a horrible payday for the Trump family and everyone involved there. And hey, look, maybe it's going towards, underprivileged youth. I don't know, or veterans or something to watch UFC. Who knows?
That would be cool.
If that's what's going on, or is that $1,300 just going to someone's Ticketmaster account and then to be distributed elsewise? I don't know, but interesting there about Live Nation and about some of the fees that are taken there. So I think that White House should be an interesting one. I can't wait to see the aesthetics and everything of what that looks like on the lawn. That should be awesome. I love when WWE does outdoor.
It'll be an amazing event.
WrestleMania is coming up actually soon.
Already? It's April. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty soon there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Trump will hawk them. I just think he'll give them to Barron to do it. So,
Barron's got to eat too.
Someone got to make some money around here.
Barron is like.
By the way,
boy,
Netflix
man.
is coming back down. Yeah, he's
Boy.
6'8".
Yeah, like he could easily be.
Like I said, my Baron is 14 years old, 6 feet tall, probably 180 pounds. And my Baron is a monster. All Barons, I guess. There it is. Look at this move on Netflix. I don't know what happened right there. But we got out there, and it broke right into there. So although we did punch out, you saw me do it live, it was a break of that level. I didn't have a stop order, but that's what we were looking at, which is why I saw it. I always have it up here on the side right there. Yeah, no, I don't think President Trump, I'm seeing in the chat, I don't think he needs to sell those tickets. It's just funny. Like, I don't know why he has 1,300 tickets. We'll figure that out.
My guess
hopefully it's to go to the Army.
He's going to give them away.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he has. I mean, he can. I mean,
Veterans and first responders.
That's what I'm hoping for, anyways. I just saw that interview and it was.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like less than 1 minute to go to the imbalances. Not really expecting whatever. I always tighten up stops on anything, but BYND's not going to have an imbalance anyways. It almost got to VWAP. Looks like one more shot it'll get there. But with about 30 seconds to go, again, the early looks basically CNQ and Pfizer. Pfizer could be interesting if it grows more than the 1.8. Oh, and reminder, we found this out. It's a SNDK, not today. Let me get this out of the way. SNDK is going to be going into the NASDAQ 100, but not today. That should be, whenever it does happen, that'll probably be a decent size.
April 20th, so it'll be added
next
this Friday, April 17th.
Exactly. But you never know how they will go, but sometimes it can be pretty exciting. All right, so NVIDIA's 2.6 to the buy side. Warner Brothers 2.5 to the buy side. Lumen with 3.4 million to the buy side. Apple, I see Apple there, 1 million to the buy side. Intel, 1 million buy. What else? Cisco's a buy, 900,000.
SLV must be on there as a buy or something. The whole market's ripping right now. So silver's going to go up like normal. But there's NVIDIA. Let's go, man. Big day alert. We talked about that. Good to have longs when this is bumping right now, and the Nasdaq's going to be up 1% right there. So I just hit offer enter as soon as I came out. We got 15s or so on NVIDIA to enter, to exit that trade. And I mean, this is what it looks like there. There's the entry, only one entry. If we were a little more aggressive, I mean, we definitely could have bought there. Was waiting for VWAP. We talked about that, does not come through, and there it goes, right up there to the upside as these imbalances really starting the market, kicking it off nicely, man. Wow, bank season's pretty good today. Goldman Sachs battled all the way back, probably getting green on this move, or close enough to it. Almost. So right there, we probably got within 1% of a shot there. Now you're down $3 or $4. So let's see. Goldman Sachs tomorrow will be on the back of, its earning friends. So we'll see where they can report tomorrow morning. But for right now, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all on deck, and Goldman Sachs really starting to get going there as we start to look at maybe the broader markets just real quick here, and then we'll have a quick look at the financials, and then we'll go back over and wrap this thing up after a very successful day trade. Walmart, again, I'm happy to be in Target, happy not to be in Walmart, but I do think that a rotation back into Walmart once its PE is a little under 40 then we can get over there. That's the reason why, pretty much why we got into Target, was beat up, and we just thought there was a little bit better opportunity there. Eli Lilly still down 1%. That's not very good. Utility names downside there today. Consumer non-durables. As we looked a little bit at Pepsi, there came through. Coke also downside. These guys, I think, are reporting next week, so they'll come out quick on their report. And you're going to see just all the package companies today downside. So not great there for consumer durables. Financials trying to battle, as we mentioned a little bit, about the success of some of these names today. The only ones down, Goldman, who reported, and I don't think there were any other financials reported today.
No, they were all alone.
Correct.
Yeah, so they just
It's
came
not
out
usually
early.
how it rolls, but
No.
it was today.
Yeah, so today that is what it was. And yeah, good day for Goldman. Only being down 1.4, I think, was a good day. We started off down 4% to start the day. Berkshire still can't get out of its way. And then just the big names today. NVIDIA positive, Apple slightly red. It's kind of, you know, we just nailed NVIDIA. It was a great trade, but it's so surprising it's only down up that much. Intel with the big banger today, man, up 4.5%. So yeah, big congrats go to that one. AMD up 1%. And there's been a lot of talk recently about Corning, and there's Boeing, so that's a really good one too. I was looking at the portfolio. It's almost like I don't even think I'm too far off the highs in yield portfolio right now, and it's because the market has battled back great.
It's basically
yeah. I mean, and I've only been, I've been dip buying the SPY and Nasdaq during all of this, and yeah, well rewarded right now and well spotted as we get right back up near the highs again. And as long as you weren't buying up here, you're probably doing okay. Although there is that stat about buying highs, and always seems to be working out. So right there, Nasdaq and the S&P 500 almost back to all-time highs, despite us being in a couple wars right now. Not us, but there's the Russia, and then there's now obviously what's happening in the Middle East. So
we got Dave here. We have a few minutes
Dave?
to go. Watch out in about a minute and a half, or about a minute, we'll have that pairing event for any imbalances. Dave's, that's Siamese. Dave's swing trade. Banks going to do great tomorrow. Today's exuberance is about that, not pricing in the taco. Well, see, here's the thing. You think Banks going to do good. Goldman did do good. Their report was a blowout. It's just the usual, they try to sell it off. I think you have to, you'll probably, I like what's going on with the financials. Personally, I'm not in XLF, I'm in Morgan and a couple of Canadian banks. I was last year, and then just thought it was just better to be in individual names, which ended up performing better on the bounces in the XLF. They've been weighed down a little bit by some of the credit card companies. But all that said, you can say whatever you want. XL's up 1.7%. It's above the 50-period moving average. The turn has already come here. So you can say whatever you want about Goldman. They've broken the trend. They're headed on the way back to the upside until proven otherwise going in a report. And the first report came good. So forget about the fact that Goldman dip buyers didn't do a good enough job. Well, the stock is up 12% from the low and looking just like the overall market. So I like the financials as well. I'll be most interested in Morgan. I think the deal makers and the trading banks here are just a little bit safer. That's just me, and I like what's going on with them. Don't have as many of the credit concerns with these bad boys, but I do like them. I think we can get back into those highs. XLF looking good, but I just think Morgan looks a little bit better. The only issue with them is typically when they sell off on the day of Goldman earnings, they tend to sell off on the day of Morgan Stanley earnings too, and they do exactly the same thing and try to bounce. So that'll be on Thursday. I think it's probably a better bounce play either sometime in the afternoon that day or maybe on Friday the day after or on Monday. But I think we're headed back to highs either way.
I don't know if Apple was on here or not, but Apple really going for a move. Yeah,
it was a small buy. But
okay, going for a huge move though. Small buy, huge move. Right there, 257.50 all the way to 259.50. So $2 straight upside there for my good friend and hopefully yours, Apple. So that's a nice one there. Right back into day's high and higher, I guess. Where did we open? Oh no, almost back to the opening prices as we've seen the Nasdaq really rally. So no surprise here as we look to see what's been happening on these imbalances. Nothing really left as we try to sort it by size. One more time. Broadcom right there with a buy. Look at Broadcom. That's continuously going higher as well right now. So AVGO giving us the goods. Oh, there's Apple. So now Apple was. Oh, it keeps on showing up and going back again. Snowflake 134. Oh my God. Maybe we got to buy some of that down there. Chipotle Mexican Grill. Get that guac. There's Apple. So yeah, Apple with a nice buy. 400,000 shares, still going. 7 million paired already. So Apple trying.
Oracle on there?
No, but I know Oracle. We'd actually talk about
It
that.
caught a spike. It did catch a spike.
There's SLV, by the way, making a move
I
down.
buy Oracle.
Yeah, Oracle's up 11%. What's it up?
12.5.
Yeah, there you go. Love Oracle.
It was 11% before, but that's the one. Forget about the IGV for a second, bottoming. Oracle, and we knocked on wood when we were saying this is going to happen, but there was almost a lock that you're going to finally be above the 50-period moving average. Last time this closed above the 50-period SMA was October 29th of last year for Oracle. So the destruction's happened. Whether it's complete, I don't know whether that's the case, but this looks like a nice little swing opportunity. It has to hold on a daily chart. It's one thing to close above, but until it shows it can hold it tomorrow, it's just a wick on a chart. So the confirmation comes the second day, and then to me, I like this play back into the prior low, which is like a 133. So it's setting up like there's going to be a swing where you can risk, I don't know, like 15%. We do have to worry about their earnings. Refresh my memory is for when Oracle earnings are. Earnings. I could ask Adara when are Oracle earnings, but.
Well, they last reported in mid-March of 26. So we've got a long time to wait. It hasn't even been, it's like been roughly a month since their last report, Neil. So we're not expecting Oracle until the end of the season, which would put them at roughly June 26. But I don't have an exact date.
That's what I was going to look for, but I don't have an exact date either. But like to me, it's plenty of time for the 50-period to 200-period type of move, right? Like I think it gives you room to run from one to the other. So I like the confirmation that we'll hopefully get tomorrow that it holds. But we're always one headline away. You never really know.
It's June 10th. June 10th expected.
That's speculative.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed yet.
Yeah, June 10th. So there it is. I knew it was late. I was just letting you guys.
They're always low. I know they're late. I was concerned with, well, is it far enough? Like how far out? And I think that's, again, plenty of time for you to get to the 200-period moving average. Yeah, I think that's where if it sets up that swing for the rest of the week or the entry midweek or end of week, then you want something that has room to be able to get up there without having to worry about a report.
Yeah, we don't want to worry too much, and we got today. We don't got too much to worry about as there goes silver right back in. So we do get this little move back now. So I'm sitting at 27. We might as well just close this whole trade. We've only got a minute left. We'll bid some 29s, and that's it. We are now out of that trade for silver. So hopefully you guys were riding that one. We talked about trying to get days back into Greensville. Obviously silver right there. 3 good shorts. We did get stopped out right there. Bought it back. So there's the stop out of this trade, and then back in, and it still absorbed the 200-period moving average with only 20 seconds left. There it is, man. It's a big day as the bulls come crawling back today, up another 1%. Trump always creates opportunity. That's your new taco right there. Some of the best times for traders is when President Trump is around. That seems to be the case. There it is, man. The U.S. markets are now closed. Good day overall. NASDAQ up 1%. ES up 1% as well. I could go to Farm Boy tonight, so we'll be getting some meat, and we'll figure out what's going on there. Maybe some steaks, maybe some sausage. Tonight, the kids always like shrimp.
Pie we
got to get a pie for Joe at some point. And then that's it. And other than that, not much else going on. The wife and daughter are getting their nails done, so that should be good. And after that, we'll just we'll relax tonight. Rate that lunch.
The ribs.
Go ahead. What are you guys thinking? Joe's got
you want me to start it? I don't know if you guys want me to start, to be honest.
Oh,
why not?
What's wrong with the ribs, man?
Ribs, hold on, man. We got to break it down, okay? I'm going to give the macaroni and cheese a 2 out of 10. The ribs, we're going to give about a 6.5. And then the vegetables, because they're vegetables, they get a 7. But the macaroni and cheese, bad rating.
The mac and cheese wasn't as good as it normally is. I'll grant you that, but like a 2 is ridiculously harsh. The ribs at 6.5 that's absurd. We're comparing it to what the caterer usually does, and on the standards of what our caterer has, that's a solid low 8. The only problem was volume, but there was plenty of extra, so you could get extra as well. It's just like you can't put 2 little tiny ribs on a man's plate.
Oh, you guys, Gordon Ramsay, Michelin-starred chef. I was perfectly happy with the meal we had today. Quite frankly, I'm a huge mac and cheese person, and like I love mac and cheese. I was actually quite happy with the mac and cheese today. And I also thought the ribs were more than fine. And I like the salad. And you know what? Here's the thing. Like, you guys know when I'm not happy with the situation with the food. But I didn't really have too much to say about this meal.
All right, Katina, man, what do you got?
I'm just so proud that we've created all this content. I mean, it started with what's for lunch, and then now I'm just sitting here like a proud father listening to everybody bicker. It's absolutely incredible. For me, I'm more on Neil's side. I didn't have any macaroni on my plate there, so I didn't get that today. The vegetables were actually really good. I always like the roasted veggies. I mean, today they had peppers and cauliflower and all that. I thought the ribs were easy to take off the bone. I already talked about this.
Ribs are solid.
Yeah, ribs are solid. I'm at like mid sevens on the whole.
More sauce, maybe.
Basically, I had a couple ribs, a salad, and veggies. So for me, it's almost like a perfect lunch. I'm at 7.7.
7.7. I was at 6.5. That's not too far off. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Mac and cheese a 2.
Yeah, it deserves a 2.
It's hard for mac and cheese to be that.
Dude, it was noodle and oil. There was no real cheese on there.
I'm just a proud father right now. All right, thanks, Joe. It's been a great show today, man. We ended with a couple bangers there. SLV, Netflix, NVIDIA. Neil had a couple of trades on as well there. So we will be back tomorrow. We want to thank everybody for watching us. Everybody that participated in the chat, so thank you so much. All the super chats, everything. And Dara, thank you for all the information today. It was absolutely fantastic. And we'll be back tomorrow. So Ramin, Andre, the assassin, we now saw him. He does exist. Thank you to Fabian as well. Thank you
cool when no one knew, though.
Yeah, it was kind of better when nobody knew, but now everybody does know, and they can see just what a handsome gentleman Andre is. So thanks to everybody today. Brendan should be back tomorrow, I believe. I checked the calendar.
Yeah, just one day.
Thanks to Sia, although I didn't see her too much, but we'll see her tomorrow, I think. And Adara, we always said thanks. And Sharif and Joe, thank you so much for that as well. All right, man, it's 4:03. I got to do my taxes and then go get some food. See you guys.